Hello everyone and welcome to another ServerSmash. My name is Fire, I'll be your main caster today, and I'm joined by not one but three people today. Why don't you all let us know who you are and what you'll be doing today?
Well, I'm your man, Pooh Nanners, the king of freedom, crawling up to his attic against all odds to cast today.
Right, Justicia, I will be casting the air today.
And Fodala will be casting the vehicles, the ground vehicles, that is.
Cool, so this is today,
We know what you meant.
we are going through a few teensy-weensy technical issues, so we should actually be live right now and streaming right now, which is great. And today we've got 4 channels for you today. Planet Battles 1 will be done by myself. PSP 2 will be done by Boonash, who will be doing your main cast today. PSP 3 will be done by Justicia, and he'll be the air follower, so he's just going to be checking out what the Briggs air machine can do today.
There you go, they
what
popped
Emerald's
in.
doing. And new today is we've got Fodala following the ground combat on Esamir, because we have something special today, right? Fodala, we've got 2 good strong harassers.
I think
last
Fodala
week,
is going to be very entertaining. I talked
That's
to him for
correct.
just a second,
Emerald's
I thought he was cool.
notorious harasser outfits that we know and love, and Briggs as well has a nice harasser unit that will bring their A game.
So those
Hopefully
are the channels,
we'll-
guys. If you're not aware, and I suppose I'll just get this out of the way right now, chat is a no man's land today by gentleman's agreement. GNU Force rules, and whatever else you want to chat and type in chat Twitch. I'm not sure if that's a good idea, but there you go. So here we are again on Esamir, and it's our old traditional Esamir map. So I'm just showing this off now to the stream, to everyone watching for you guys in TeamSpeak. We have our typical out-of-play area. That's Haven Outpost, Fair Northern Barracks, and Crystal Ridge Commeray. Those are out-of-bounds areas. But other than that, we have our 3 main elements of the map. We've got the north, the central, and the south. So you're playing for Ymir Biolab, Isotech Plant, and Freyr Amp Station. The teams today is going to be Emerald versus Briggs. So currently that is 2nd and 3rd place, joint in the league turn standings, and I'll get the table up for you in a second. And in the south, we have Briggs playing the Zavanu Sovereignty. That's the purple guys. And in the north,
the purple guys.
we have
I love it.
Poonanner's favorite faction. Who are they? Keeping you on your toes, Poonanners. I know you're sleeping.
Oh, sorry, you talking about the freedom? Yeah! NC bringing the shotguns and rockets to bring it down.
So today, we thought we'd mix it up a little bit. Poonanners is going to be unreservedly NC Freedom biased. He's going to be cheering for Emerald. I will be cheering for Briggs in my own way, I guess. I'm totally Australian and the Azure backed out. And we'll just see how it goes. And we'll call the shots, see how it plays out and everything like that. So, I mean, I suppose I'll just lay it out to the floor, guys. What do you think is going to happen today, and how do you think the opening plays are going to set out?
I don't know, but my biggest question is, who is going to hunt the most pumpkins?
They still live?
Yeah, I'm
Oh,
standing in
wow.
front of a Galacto Lantern at the moment.
Okay.
Halloween ain't happened yet. Man, you know, Emerald's just going to rush in and take what they take, keep them on the defensive. That's how they roll. I don't think we're going to see much
Briggs
different
will do
tonight.
another upset?
Nah.
So you would call Emerald host favorites, and it's pretty much a forlorn conclusion?
Yeah, you know, I mean, Briggs hasn't really been doing really well this season. You know, if I'd have seen like maybe Cobalt coming up or Miller, but Briggs, I'm not expecting to see much. I'm hoping they've got their game together
breaking
after 2
up, man.
losses, though.
Alright, cool. You're doing the robot. Oh, and you muted. Right, yes, well, as you were saying, yeah, he's maybe got a point, but the fact is, Esamir's different. Esamir isn't a map where Emerald can play the maximum amount of pressure that they normally do. That is a map like Austin, multiple lanes, multiple areas, that type of stuff. So we are kind of condensed down to 5 lanes on Esamir. It is our kind of smallest map
very
in terms of
air-friendly, it's
flexibility in lanes. However, Emerald is probably going to be looking to push into Freyr Amp Station, because once you push into there's a lot of opportunities that open up. There's more bases that you can flex around. There is an interdiction possibility at Mathathan's Triumph. That means that if Emerald's quick enough, they can cap one of the 3 points of Mathathan's Triumph before Briggs can get to ISO mining operation. It's the cutting off the tech plant. That'll be kind of interesting. And the other major crucial play at the beginning will be Waterson's Redemption. That is the old Octagon 4-point base, always extremely important because it allows access, if you're the South Briggs, to get into Echo Valley Substation, and then into East River Sky, and then an attack on Cerro. Whereas from Emerald's point of view, it gives them two opportunities to go to Canyon, to go into Bridgeward, and whoever gets Waterson's Redemption first, provided the tech plant isn't captured, gets ISO Southern Cam for free. So it's realistically two territories. And I'm also wondering to see, and maybe you guys can tell me this, is anyone going to be suffering from PTSD at Ymir Biolab? Are we foreseeing this, Maxes and shotguns?
Very likely.
How's your mic, Pinana, as you get it sorted?
Yeah, I think we're going to see what we're going to see. They're going to bring the shotguns, obviously. They're going to bring the rockets. They're going to bring the Freedom. But I think it's going to be mostly a lot of close quarters combat and a lot of aerial combat, as Esamir likes to do.
I hate to be a dick here, Nanas, but can you please use our overlay system?
I can't. The way that it works requires me to use a separate window, and I don't have one.
Okay. For the future, then, yeah.
Okay, going back on topic. Fodala, how do you think, it's going to be vehicle combat today, and we also see a lot of combined arms. So, we typically see from Emerald, there's a lot of use of Sunders, use of Air Force multipliers on kind of capture points. Are you expect to see more of the same today? I mean, are you going to expect to see, because there's not as many lanes and not maximum pressure in multi areas, do you expect to see perhaps Emerald just brute forcing their way, trying to push into Briggs' territory?
Absolutely, there's going to be a combination of a bunch of stuff. So we love to put vehicles in just about every place we can, every hole, every orifice, every wall, everything we like to jump in. So we're going to be seeing a lot of harassers jumping. We're going to see buses going into places. Basically, there's no place that our vehicles can't go, and that's what I expect to see.
The question is, and admittedly we don't have a member of the Briggs community here, is I know that Briggs can do attacks, and I know that Briggs does their own kind of pressure play, does their own kind of vehicle play, but I'm really keen to see today whether or not they have the ability to attack. Anyone can do the kind of redeployment and pressure saves on your own territory. It's whether or not, I'm really, really keen to see whether or not today that Briggs can bring that sort of combined arms play to attack a base, because it's one thing to attack a base as infantry only, like for example, like say the Bulwark, for example, and then to drop tons of infantry and then have a couple of spawn sunders. It's a completely separate thing to saturate the base with lots of vehicles, lots of anti-air, and then to play the kind of force multiplier game, because you always want to win your 50-50 fights.
Force multipliers,
if possible,
time to drink!
You want to draw in more population than you have to a base to silk up the enemy's numbers, because the goal is...
Is this recon all caller?
I'm gonna have to mute him. Thank you, Reef. Yeah, game referee for you there. So as I was saying, we're just talking about force multipliers and how that when you have a 4-minute base capture, you have to anticipate that on the 2-minute marker, lots of people are going to come here and try and stop me. So, and I'm also wondering what's the force compositions. Now, I'd imagine for Emerald, Fodala, maybe you can correct me here, and maybe Puna, as you can tell me, they're going to have their, multiple platoon leaders, one platooner per lane, and lots of flexibility and inter-platoon cooperation. And I'm wondering today how Briggs has set themselves up, because usually whenever Briggs plays, there's nobody left on Briggs.
Well, I know on this map, Emerald usually runs 3 major lanes and then have like 1 or 2 floaters. But this map, they usually focus on the upper 2 lanes. The bottom lane's usually done as like a push or feint. And they usually try to focus pretty hard on keeping the air combat out of their major pushes, or at least getting the air there right before a cap. That's what we should look forward to.
Do you think anti-air battalions and groups, or flag burster groups, because of the nature and the terrain of Esamir, is going to play an issue today?
I wish. You don't see a lot of anti-air on ServerSmash at all. Generally, it's just the Air Force trying to smash into another Air Force to drag them high up and out of the way. I've talked to them a lot about that. I was like, why don't we see a lot of Sky Guards and Bursters? And the comment I always get back is, too squishy.
I disagree. I've seen a lot of Sky Guards in the Harasser game. They do a lot of anti-air denial. So you're popping lightnings, you're popping sky guards, and that's really helping out for the Air Force to go to another point. You know, that aircraft stays alive longer, and those vehicles pop them. So I know that I have seen them, Emerald sky guards.
It'll be also interesting to see whether or not, and maybe you can follow this closer just this yet, is whether or not the air is playing a straight up air stops their air, or whether or not there's some air to ground elements as well. And do we have a gentleman's agreement in today, or is it going to be air to air lock-ons?
No, I don't think we have a gentleman's agreement. But yeah, for example, last time when Miller and Cobalt played, you know, the Miller Airmen were, I think, top killers or top weapon almost. So let's see if the Emerald guys can do the same today.
We'll be right back. I'm just going to play our second intro, guys, before we get to the respective starts. I'm going to start heading to the southern warp gate. If you want to head to the northern warp gate, Poonanners. Thank you very much, Justicia and Fodola. I'll let you guys go to your respective rooms. That's a reminder to you guys that PSP 1 and 2 in Twitch, that is our main feed. 3 is Justicia doing the casting on the air game, and 4 is Fodola doing the casting on the vehicle game. So you can either watch us now, watch the VODs, or multi-Twitch everything. It's all to your heart's content. So I'll let you guys go to your corresponding rooms and TeamSpeak, and I'll play the intro.
Don't know if he's gonna move me or if I have to move me. I guess I'll move me. All right, now we're ready to have ourselves a party. I'm gonna sit around for the intro stuff. Now it's time for a conversation, guys. I know it takes a couple of minutes because I have to work on this delay. This 2-minute delay, but hey, I'll respond to you guys in the chat room. Give me a call. Let me know what you want to do. And we will do it. We're going to watch these vehicles take off. We're going to watch this initial attack and look ourselves some freedom. You could be hearing some intro speeches, but everyone's quiet. The warp gate is quiet. We'll make Poonanners watch the clock. Watching his watch, ready for us to go.
Supposed to be in the same room as me, Nanners, thank you. Alright, here we go.
Oh, I did not know that.
Right,
we end up talking over each other when we do that.
1 seconds away. Yeah, but that's the whole point of number 1 and number 2. It's really simple. Oh,
I hate that.
There we go. It's simple. Today we're trying to do a little bit differently. You can be super proactive for Emerald, and I'll be super proactive for Briggs, and we'll see who wins.
I hate having to talk over Pharaoh, though.
Right, well, as we kick off here, the next 15 seconds, I think the game referee might make an all call here. Right, referee?
Anners, if you're in here, can you give us an eagle for luck?
Yeah, baby!
Blessed be the Nanners.
It's time for some freedom, baby! Get ready to roll out, because it's coming down!
The game is live, but they're... Oh, for God's sake, this is just facepalm. We're going to have to redo the clock here.
Do I need to mute you again, Poonanners?
I already muted you, you might as well.
Match start with 8 p.m. Eastern, or 8 p.m. Central. Like, it's 9 p.m. Eastern right now, right?
Came easy.
What's wrong with your clock, baby? I just noticed like my...
Okay, so I'm not going to stay in there because
stream is so late.
drama! Okay, so yeah, you can see the game clock. Everyone's wondering when to go because they're waiting for the game referee to do it. Let's not hit on Reeve too much. We'll just get that kind of sorted in a second here.
Our clock doesn't have to be right.
Oh, dude, the clock doesn't have to be right. The
Our clock
conspiracy
doesn't have to be
theories
right.
we've had, the conspiracy theories we've had, right, with the recent drama that kicked off, which
Sorry
was
guys,
totally by
we had some issues with
a spy
people being
from
outside the
Miller,
warp gate,
and
so we need
the
to
Watson
delay the
Matheson
match a
triumph
bit.
crap has kicked off again.
Yeah, but they
So,
do the same thing
yeah.
in the NFL. They're
We
like,
are
our
starting
clock
in
isn't
5
official.
minutes.
But the thing is, remember when there was the issue with the Twitch counting down, and although the VOD was like technically 1 hour 58 seconds, although it was actually 2 hours, it was the way the compression was done and the number of frames, and then people saying, well, Connery won that game against Miller because it really was down to the last second capture of a base or the saving of a base. It really does come down to, no, the clock needs to be perfect.
Nah. Our clock is 2 minutes behind anyway.
Well, were you even paying attention to him? I wasn't paying attention. Right, okay, so while this gets, I don't know, sorted or something, and then everything gets fixed, yada yada. If you got the map, right, and you're Emerald, what do you do? Like, in the beginning of your game, how do you play this?
Well, generally they do the same thing. They pick out some bases that they know they've got the best flight times to. Then they pick out some bases they know they got probably not the best flight times to. The best flight times to, they go ahead and pick them off and run away. The ones they don't have the best flight times to, they figure out how they're going to interdict. That's what they do. Just run in and give them hell. And then they constantly keep pressure on. Generally, they get caught with their pants pulled down because somebody will go for a base that they thought everybody would ignore, like Rhyme, I think, is one of the ones on here. What is this one called? Is it called Rhyme? Yeah. Rhyme is like one of those bases they think is going to get ignored, and sometimes it goes after, and they all have to run around like chickens with their heads cut off. But they usually pull their heads out of their asses and get it covered.
Okay, I see. So, yeah, so the chat's just catching up. They're 2 minutes behind. So, GG, people outside the work here or something, I suppose. Could you do me a favor? Could you jump down and talk to Mail and just see what the sit rep is and whether or not we should refresh our page for the updated clock and all that kind of stuff?
Oh,
that'd be really helpful.
I could ask, and I was like, I'm using my own that I can set manually.
I'd rather you ask rather than me going there in TeamSpeak.
You want to ask Justicia?
Yeah, ask Reeve/Mail what's going on. Right. Specifically want to know about the clock on the page. Right. And yes, my connection quality is poor, but I can't get rid of that. So.
All right, I'll ask him. All right, Pharaoh's wanting to know what he's supposed to do.
Wait.
All right, I'll tell him that. They're saying just wait.
Just wait. Is the clock?
Yeah, that's what they said.
Wait. Okay. Wait. All right. Well, anyway, as I was saying, if I was Briggs, right, Nanners, I'd be looking perhaps to make a strong play for Freyr Amp Station because you got 2 quick base captures leading into Freyr, similar to how Emerald has 2 quick base captures going into Esamir Biolab. And you'd be looking to capture.
The match will start 10 past the full hour.
6 minutes. Okay, let's see if the clock gets updated. Well, at least we didn't have a start of a game and then redo the game because we forgot to change. See, one of the commands we have, guys, is we get the ability to stop the ability to capture a base, so it doesn't cap. So we had an instance where Pale Canyon Chemical couldn't be flipped in a particular base fight on one of the other Esamir maps that we've got. So we had to restart.
Enthralling gameplay indeed.
Game. So I suppose it's preferential to having a delay than to not actually start. Yeah. So
yeah, anyway, one of the guys in my chat just said, "That's some enthralling gameplay."
Right.
Ooh, they're on the edge of their seat. Gonna have to wait another 5 minutes.
Type bases, lots of multiple points, very short, close timers. It's probably a lot easier to capture than Esamir Biolab, and you could see that going back and forth multiple times. Pushing into Freyr Geothermal, it's totally possible to do it from the Briggs point of view. There's a lot of vehicles that you can crash inside the base. You can get the Sunder to the little sweet spot, and if you can control the airspace and then get enough vehicles and you have the right population, it's fine. And it all comes down to sending the right amount of population to a base when it's applicable. It's all about, controlling the one precious resource you have, and that's the number of people you're playing.
Well, that's classic. That's classic this game, though. It's just managing your numbers. I mean, the game would actually be more powerful. You would have a stronger meta if those updates on the number of enemies in an area actually updated faster and more reasonably.
Would you be ever so kind as to go ask Mail if the game clock will be updated?
I think he said it would, but I'll check. Hey, they want to know if the clock's going to get updated or if he has to refresh.
I can't get it to change. I can't get it to change.
I'll let him know.
So,
he said he can't get it to change. What's funny is on my bug it is changed.
What? What?
I have my own bug. That's what he was telling me to do it.
Personal one you did, yeah.
Yeah, I wrote one that will run as a plugin inside of Twitch, inside of OBS, so I don't have to have like a separate window. It also does a bunch of other stuff, like whenever a capture happens, it'll come up and shake and be like, capture! And if there's a cutoff lane, it will actually say that who got cut
Yeah,
off,
that was extremely
how many territories
obnoxious.
they lost, and it will fall off the screen and break.
Hey, if you want to have an EPing competition with Maelstrom, you could do it some other time about who's overlaid.
It's not an EPing competition. Maelstrom knows that's not what it is. I do that so it's convenient. Having to fight the chroma key and then put it in my screen and make sure that Twitch doesn't end up on top of it with my key on it, it's too much of a hassle. I don't have that many free screens like y'all do.
I guess. Screens are awesome, yo.
I'm not
Well,
multi-screen like you. I have one
I know
wall
as
that's a
much as you
screen.
guys do. I'm basically listening for the go, and then we'll retrofit the clock or some crap. I don't know. Oh, actually, I wonder if I could do my own just.
Just do the math in your head. You know it's 6 minutes more, right?
It's not technically true. From when he starts it to when I was seeing the screen being, yeah, it's whatever. It's... Hey guys, this is professional esports right here. This level of production you don't get anywhere else because no one can be bothered. Do you think we'll see some main battle tanks today, or is it all going to be a Raptor?
Dude, I've asked them why we don't see more tank fights, and they've said that. They said too squishy is what the comment I always get.
How can we help you?
You're gonna have to change your numbers. I can't seem to get to change.
Sorry, what? Sorry?
Stand by.
Oh, are you going to update the clock first?
No, I'm gonna have to give you a brand new one. For some reason, it's not updating properly.
Well, I do appreciate the effort. Thank you, Mel. And I'm sure everyone watching the stream right now appreciates it as well.
They better do. Quickly, we're on Esamir. It's Briggs versus Emerald, isn't it?
Yeah, it's yeah. That
Who versus factions?
NC Emerald.
NC Emerald vs Briggs, yeah.
Yep.
All
Change your
right,
numbers,
waiting for the
please,
clock to go.
56. So no, hold on. I need to say so. Yeah, 56, please.
1 hour and 6 minutes.
Yeah, because I fucked it up.
You can fix this one though, right?
I should be able to. If not, I'll have to do it again. Yeah.
It's cool. It's cool. 57 incoming. Yo. Well, I suppose it's a good enough time as any to current standings. So currently, I guess we'll talk about this because we were waiting alright for a few more minutes. Miller is currently technically in the lead ever so slightly with the score on points. We'll see that Emerald and Briggs here are playing very important for the. I guess if Emerald wins, they take the ascendancy and go into first place. If Briggs wins, it means that everyone will be on 2-1, and it really comes down to territory control. If Briggs loses the days, it depends on the kind of number of points that they lose, because Cobalt could find themselves in third place. And then there's a very important Cobalt Connery game going up. So, I beg your pardon.
We're delaying it to 3:15.
So we got a few seconds left. What's going on?
So what are you guys doing? Just sitting around?
Okay, we need to delay it even more. Our technical admin needs more time to set up a new
Right, we're
match
good, we're
so
good.
the time clock can be reset.
He's left the channel. Go down and talk to him. My God, the level of professionalism in this. You need to shoot Reeve.
I was telling
Hashtag
you.
shoot Reeve.
Refresh your pages, please, lads.
Is it 4 minutes and 38 seconds?
Yes.
Alright, excellent. Go tell Reeve and tell everyone else how he's gone. Right, fantastic. I could bring up TeamSpeak for you guys, but it's far too early in the morning for me, and I really couldn't care. I just want to see Briggs smash the living daylights out of Emerald. You heard me. Just cause.
Yeah, I want to see it too. I would like to see an upset. I mean, it's not going to happen, but I would love to see it.
Well, do tell me about how you don't like Emerald.
Who, me? Oh, I love Emerald. I just want to see someone actually be able to take us.
Okay, well, I suppose. You don't think, do you think in the upcoming, because we're waiting for this, the upcoming, because the real animosity here, or at least perhaps it's only one way, is the Miller versus, Resurgent Miller versus the Dominant Emerald. I suppose we're all waiting for that Hawson game.
Well, we saw the Cobalt match and it made us worry a little bit less, but after they tried to assassinate me, they're all kind of ready to get vengeance for me.
Now, I heard that Emerald didn't necessarily throw the Connor game, but they certainly fielded like a sort of different team. And I know that's the case for the Miller game. And there's a bunch of people in Miller like, why did we field such a bad team? I'm so annoyed that we lost. And I'm like, it's your own bloody fault, to be honest. They did kind of throw the game with the team that they fielded.
We went as nice as we could on the Connery match, yeah.
Yeah, for some reason, our rivals from EU, we took it easy on them. Of all the people, why Cobalt? But there you go. Right. For reals, yo, we are really going to start in the next 3 minutes and 2 seconds. He said, as Reeve in charge.
3 minutes until match start.
Okay.
3 minutes, alright.
I tell you what, see if you're one of the pilots and you're waiting, pilots, waiting in the warp gate and you're twitching, you're hovering your vehicle. You getting nervous around now? I get nervous sometimes at the beginning of the game, going over your game plan again and again and again.
Not really. I mean, it depends. I mean, if you're a force commander, yeah. I mean, you were a platoon leader, so yeah, you were stressed the hell out. But as a normal, like, grunt, no, you just follow your guys around, listen to orders. When I play, I refuse to lead. I just follow people around and do what I'm supposed to do. And it's not a big problem there. The only thing that's stressful is when you're in a room and you need to hold it down and you're getting grenaded to death.
So, in Smashes, have you done more than just, like, being a grunt on the ground? Do you do squad leading? Have you ever done platoon leading?
No, because if you're a squad leader, platoon leader, something like that, you spend way too much time in the map. I want to get on the ground and have fun. Generally, they actually use me for what it is that I do. I mean, I run in and try to encourage more people to go a different direction. There's a lot of changes that happen on the ground that you have to be on the ground to feel for it. I've got a pretty good feel for that. So I can just call out with the various different people that are there and be like, all right, let's go this way, get them all amped up, and we go in and crush it. But at some point, it becomes a revive grenade battle.
I've done platoon leading a couple of times. Squad leading is its own little kettle of fish. Force commanding is fun because it's like playing the most like RTS strategy sort of game that you wouldn't get anywhere else.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I really liked RTSs back in the day, but once I got into the whole like drummer boy thing that I've been doing for the last few years, I can't do anything else but that. It's addictive.
Right, minute 20. Yeah, that's pretty much, I guess, stressful. And, like, an hour of gameplay can disappear just like that when you don't even realize where it's going. Would you ever consider, and I'm reading chat, guys, the reason I got Poon on Arizona is just so we can bias against Emerald. And I'm going to be pretty much biased for Briggs. It's just the way it's going to be, unless I feel the other way. To be honest, I'm biased to the winning team or the team that plays well. So,
well, it's like you're not even really biased. You're just saying, hey, they caught another base, but it's the guys who keep winning. So they're like, you're being biased. And it's like, no, I'm just pointing out that they're doing well because they are. But it's just people complaining. You're on the internet. It's just full of complainers.
Yeah, it's fine. We're just sarcasm. Okay, 35 seconds here. I'm hoping on you, Reeve. Let's go. Now, the southern lane usually doesn't open too much, but if one particular force is too weak, it's usually a fight and forget it lane because the proximity between the Isotech plant and Freyr amp station sections, usually there's a lot of hotbeds going on. In the south, you're typically just isolated, so it'll be interesting to see whether or not who gets the biolab, what emphasis is played on,
10,
and then just what kind of
9,
PTSD. Oh my
8,
god, we're actually starting.
7,
We're actually
6,
starting.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Match start.
And they're off! Here we go! That is a severe force coming out of the NC warp gate.
Yep, simple split of via scythes, exactly the same. Looks like, as we can expect, Warson's Redemption and going into Ymir Southern Reach is interesting because Ymir Southern Reach is still 4 minutes of dead time where it really doesn't make a play until the biolab kicks off. But then again, I suppose you want to go into the biolab.
The NC look to all be going to geothermal. At least a good chunk of them. It's going to be fun, though. Oh, there's a little split up.
Oh, wow, okay.
They're already calls and explosions, firing off rockets and dropping out.
They're going straight for the ice and mining up just before the Matheson's tramp can be interdicted, and the point is actually flipping. So that's at least a safeguard that they actually get the base going immediately. It looks like there's attempted interdiction at Isa Mountain Pass. Doesn't look like it's come to anything. No, that's just the Air Force coming overhead. And initial push by Briggs for Rime Analytics. That was a good call. So they're able to get to Rime Analytics before the Matheson's Triumph was tapped on, which we do see about 1 or 2 squads of...
They did it again. I didn't think it would happen again, but it did.
Oh, hold on. I think I changed my audio here. 1 sec.
Yeah, this happened to us one time, and Emerald wasn't ready for it, and they had to turn around and do something about it. It takes so long to cap that, you know, usually no one really cares.
Okay, so I've bumped up Punanar's audio just because there's so much scythe.
Oh, they
PPA
sent
spam.
everyone.
Let me know if you're having any issues in the audio in the chat.
No, it sounds good.
Right now?
Oh, you're talking about the chat, yeah. But no, they did exactly what I was talking about that one time where people just come and sneak up on Rhyme Analytics because in this map, Emerald just ignores
Well, they
it.
even got the Battle Sunder onto the point, Repair Sunder. That's good for air. They need
Yeah,
the second one.
I think they're
And
going to grab this
extra-
one. I'm going to watch this fight. It's going to be difficult. You're going to have to watch Emerald respond to this and actually do something about
Dude,
it.
check out the
And they might
additional
fail.
Sunders. They're driving the Sunder not
I see it.
point, but onto the roof.
Yeah.
The roof. Hey, way to go, Briggs. I like
That's
this.
what I'm saying. I
Double
don't think that
repair
Emerald's going to be able to
Sunders,
respond
roof.
fast enough because even after the response, there's going to be so much garbage on top of the base. They're going to have to really bring the pain.
They're bringing in a fourth Sunder as well with the gals on the top.
Oh, yeah.
Right,
They've
quick
committed
move,
everyone to
Briggs is
Rhyme.
going-
Apparently, they watched the last match that happened here.
There are some a little bit of whale wars going on. We do see the one Emerald fail Galaxy trying to smash into some scythes, so Briggs being ascendant here at Rhyme, but this is just one base of many. Isom Mining Op is still going down. Isom Mining Pass is also going down, kind of dead.
Ooh, the
because
Bacons are on the ground.
Watson's Redemption's ticking down, although it's 63 to 37, so slight overpop there for Emerald on a long cap.
Yeah.
We see
No one
Eastern
cares.
Way Station and Ymir Southern Reach both ticking down. The real fighting is currently going in the Biolab, of which population is currently in Emerald's favour. We see Freyr Network, Freyr Substation ticking down, and Freyr Geothermal ticking down, with an Emerald bias in Freyr Amp Station. So, population advantage in the north and south for Emerald, and in the centre, at Rhyme Analytics, that is where we have the Briggs Force going for the first base.
Well, I'm looking over here at Rhyme, and it looks like Emerald's actually trying to pull like a handful of maxes, and it's like, there's no way maxes are getting out of that spawn room. You've got to be crazy.
Oh, AV from the teleporter building. They're trying to rocket out from the southern building. Now, they're aware of what's going on. It's a lot of fire from Briggs going back. And there's a
Oh,
bright blue
damn.
shot
Look, have
coming from the northern
you noticed
building.
Freyr Sub and Network? They're already grabbing that, too, so... Emerald's going to be in trouble if
I'm
they're going
not
to do
sure
something about
how
Rhyme.
the
They might
couple
just let
of
Rhyme
maxes
go. I don't know.
How is Emerald going to get to this building, though? In
I'm
any
thinking they're just going to
force?
let it go. I think they don't care.
Well, they got a motion sensor up on the building. They know exactly what's going on. The Sunders.
That's
are
one Sunday down.
apart. Spawn Sunder on the external. There is an external spawn.
Oh, a lot
Sunder
of
for
rockets
Briggs.
incoming.
There's a lot of vehicles. They got air control. Well, I say that. No, they do. They do have.
Oh,
air
that's
control,
another
but
Sunday
not ground
down.
control. This is the perfect time for the Air Force, for Briggs, to smash the living daylights out of
Oh,
Emerald.
yeah.
Emerald is now desperate, going for the point. They're rushing in. If ever the Air Force was going to pound them, now's the time to do it.
Which is a big Briggs move to pound it with Air Force, but there's a lot of people, and we've got ourselves a res grenade battle. It's going to come down to these last 20 seconds as Freedom marches on the point. The point is not flipping, and it's not being cleared out, but it has plenty of guys to take it down. They got 15 seconds left as the res grenade battle goes, and the point is flipping, and is Newt not think they got the guys to keep it down.
The thing is that they still have the spawn Sunders. They could totally re-rally. but you're right, that was a big
And the
mass
captures are
investment
rolling
number of
in.
maxes.
We've already got ourselves 3 captures for the night already.
The important thing is that Briggs is able to regroup on the external side and able to fight outside. The question is whether or not Emerald can hold this point for any duration of time or push back to the spawn Sunders. If the air control truly is in the hands of Briggs, which looks like they've actually left, it's going to be all infantry. Those maxes at the cap point from Emerald are going to make the difference here.
Well, Briggs just snatched up like 5 territories to Emerald's 3, so the score has moved.
Well, that's going to be updated as soon as Mind Watch. And
Oh, there goes another Emerald takedown.
That'll be the free Ymir Eastern Way. And what's interesting is that Mind Watch was actually heavily delayed, although it is still going to go through. Biolab is now equally contested, 6 minutes. Tech Plant is all Briggs. Interesting. Looks like a big numbers for Emerald have had to be sucked into Rhyme
Just
Analytics.
so you know, Emerald sent everyone to Rhyme. That's the pop they sent there. Everyone.
I do see that. Now the fact is where is Briggs? Briggs has got Pop and Waterson Redemption. The cap timer progress bars 1 minute 30 now in favor because it's a third party, so you can steal the progress. I wonder if that's how that's going to work on Waterson's Redemption.
That's my money's on Waterson's Redemption for Briggs to actually to be sucked into a people suck. Because I can tell you, as long as Waterson's Redemption takes so long that Emerald normally does not care about this base. It's a base that we keep the timer going so the other team spends too much time there.
Well, this is the thing. It doesn't matter. Actually, this is really interesting. They're not flipping the points. They are. In fact, there's one.
The Air Force is there, but not the ground force.
Stealing the cap.
Yeah, it's because they brought their Air Force. There's the ground troops. Oh wait, no, that's NC.
Which is interesting. When they got the Air Force here, they got the spawn external spawns. The spawn rooms are not obviously going to be working for Emerald. But they are locking down Charlie really, really hard.
Well, they're starting to pop into C and D. They're starting to push in. It just took too long, that's all.
I was wondering if they were going to go for like a last couple of seconds steal, but the fact is, Emerald should be able to get their forces. Yeah, look, Rhyme Analytics is totally empty again. This would be a perfect time for Briggs to reapply the pressure, keep that momentum up.
Well, strangely enough, Emerald actually sent a lot of people to Waterson's Redemption, which I didn't expect. I expected it to be a people suck. I expect them to make it look like they want Waterson's Redemption and then snatch up Esamir Biolab in the confusion.
No, but look at the populations. It's 60-40 in favor of Briggs, but most of this is in their terms of their Air Force. So it's 2 for 2 currently in the points, which means the cap timer has stopped.
Yep.
Interesting. Now, interestingly, you could game the system. You could, if you were Briggs, I don't know, surrender 1 point, let it tick down more, and then brute force 2 additional points, and then cap the base. Because Emerald could do the same here. Even if Briggs manages to get 3 points and takes it down to a couple of seconds, Emerald only needs to come back and flip a few more bases. Not they would do that because they're silly Americans. Americans don't know what they're doing. But, you know, I'm just trying to throw that out there. I don't know what I'm saying.
Capture!
You know, game the system.
Oh, Emerald snatches another.
Capture! Which base did that one go?
Capture!
Oh, yeah, the Esamir Mind Watch. So
oh,
it should
there
be
goes Emerald snatching more.
Right now. Yeah, so it should be equal territory control as of right now. But it looks like Freyr Amp Station in 21 seconds should be the first major acquisition in the game other than freebie territories. 3 capture points, all locked down by the NC of Emerald. Sunders are incoming. Now, if you're Emerald right now, if you're Briggs right now, the most important thing they can do right now is flip at least 1 point and hold 1 point, which they're doing on Bravo. Even if they lose this base, they need to make sure that fighting doesn't spread to Freyr Substation and Freyr Network.
Capture! Nope, and Emerald just pulled ahead with that cap. I got a feeling that the Biolab is really going to sink the people into. Oh, I think they're actually going to let Waterson's go, too. I didn't think they'd let it go all the way.
Oh, maybe a harassment team or a tick down there. The Biolab 2 minutes. That is, I guess, large. Is it large outposts, not bases, like large facilities? So the Biolab isn't going to always tick down. Need to check that out. But in terms of the who controls who, D and C is now moved to Briggs on Octagon, or Waterson's Redemption as it's known. Bravo is heavily populated by Emerald, just waiting to get grenaded and spammed. The outside external control is definitely in Briggs' favor here.
Yeah, but look at the people suck. It actually is working. They're committing more Briggs people to that base, but keeping it as neutral as long as possible, while Emerald sneaks around the back and takes out the Biolab.
You mean Esamir Biolab?
Yes. That's what Emerald's wanted to do. I'm telling you, it's a people suck maneuver. It's what we do all the time.
5-minute base cap. The Biolab isn't like an instant capping base. It's going to take a while.
If you got all 3 bases, it's like 2 or 3 minutes, isn't it?
Capture!
Emerald just snatches another base.
Really? Which
yes.
One? I don't see that.
Yep, just happened.
Capture! Yeah, no.
Oh, it just flipped back. That's weird.
Yeah, because somebody hacked Haven Outpost, which is verboten, and the Fun Police will frown upon you. So
Somebody
anyway,
hacked
going
it?
back to this particular base, yeah, so we got 3, oh wow, okay, 3 capture points. Pressure by Emerald, taking back Delta, Bravo, and oh wow, this is big, because Emerald is going to get this base unless Briggs can force 1 point. If they force 2 points, they'll get the whole base itself. Looks like the timing, oh, and they're even forcing Charlie here, the last holding of Briggs. Oh no, guys, what's going on? So
Capture!
This is quite important now.
Emerald just snatched up Waterson's.
Big for Emerald. But the tech plant, which is a little bit conservative because it was 96 plus each on Waterson's Redemption, is now sub 60 seconds, and I can see Emerald perhaps trying to now apply pressure on the tech plant, preventing them from getting it.
Ymir's down to 60, man.
Sub 60 seconds, and we see Freyr Network compound pressure moving away from the amp station onto Freyr Network. I'm gonna go check the tech plant out.
Ymir's down to 60 right now, or less than. You're starting to see a small push coming from Briggs, but they are just outnumbered everywhere they go.
So there isn't a battle type Sunder or Harasser on the point of the tech plant, although they do have the additional kind of rear areas. Yep, so, I mean, to be honest, unless a big push comes in here, just physically the time it takes... Okay, now we've got... Where are these guys? They dropped outside! It's too late, guys. You can't get to the point anymore. There's like a small squad of Emerald outside at the tech plant, just dropping, not realizing they can't go through the shields. So they're just locked out. And that's it. Tech plant. This is good. So this is first major facility going towards Briggs.
Yeah.
It means that both teams can actually now hypothetically contest ISIS Southern Camp, and it's not a free capture. If I was Briggs, I'd really want to see Matheson's Triumph being saved, but at the same time you can see some of their pop has been pushed to Ymir to give them a slight overpop. It's 61.39, but it's still ticking down 21 seconds Biolab in
Well,
favor
it looks like they're
of
saving the Ymir Biolab cap. They had 20 seconds left, but they're finally nooching both A and C, slowing it down. I think they might have put more people on that base. Yeah, they dumped a lot of pop on there, which is going to give Emerald a chance to push in somewhere else.
Well, there's three area bases. You got Crystal Ridge Comrade, Haven Outpost, and Fair Northern Barracks. And the Fun Police basically make sure that they can't be captured, and that's really due to balancing how the lane
But like,
works.
somebody can insta capture it or something?
No, not instant capture. Just somebody went there and started capping it. That's all.
Huh? Because it was like showing up as a capture like instantly. That's what was weird about it.
It was instantly reflipped because the admins went there and reflipped it back. That's
Oh, okay. So they were just pressing the button to flip it. They were
flip it
resetting it manually. That's why it was freaking out the WebSocket. I was like, what the hell is that? They used to just walk up to the point and shoot the guy and touch it.
We're currently watching Briggs, I guess, controlling the Charlie and Alpha points, and I think it's down to teleporter rooms and who has access. Briggs has the preferential teleporter room as it comes to, because it leads to 2 potential points, whereas Emerald only has the Bravo capture point with the Bravo teleporter. It's still a long 4 minutes and 50 seconds for this Biolab, and that's an eternity.
But look at the map, though. Right now, you actually see a decent overpop for Briggs on several bases, which is not good news for Emerald. It looks like they're actually not running the game they normally run, where they're able to people suck either the team into one base, and then they have overpop at the rest of the bases. It's the other way around now, so you might start to see the points shift the other way in the next 15 or 20 minutes.
I mean, it was good play on Rhyme Analytics, but the problem is that Matheson's Strength is constantly being harassed. And as the Biolab is continuing to kind of furl on, the north at Freyr is beginning to unravel here for Briggs. The AM station at Freyr has been flipped, and also now we're seeing that Freyr Network Compound and Freyr Substation are both demanding resecures. A quite large force being redeployed to Freyr Network Compound with a number of maxes here. I'm not seeing any real defending forces from Emerald, but the fact is they need to now... it's as if the defenders who were at Freyr Network Compound have moved to Freyr Substation. So Briggs is having to play the defend which base and when maneuver. Interestingly, from Emerald, I'm not seeing...
Hold on. Emerald's starting to push towards Biolab. I can see the map. It looks like they're pushing in probably galaxies. I don't know, but I'm getting indication that they're starting to push the Biolab.
I don't know why Emerald's only defending...
Emerald was all inside Watersons, but they're starting to redeploy. So we're going to see ourselves some freedom, maybe.
Well, it's very important for Briggs to keep the pressure at Waterson's Redemption so fighting doesn't move to Pale or Bridgeward.
There's the fold up! I knew it! And here comes Emerald pushing into the Biolab. They're going to try to take this sucker.
What can I do for you, Maelstrom?
I'm now 2 minutes behind, but Haven Outpost was me testing shit, so...
Yeah.
Wait, well, we started on time, didn't we?
Yeah, but things were crashing, so I had to do hotfix and hotfix.
Okay.
Style.
Well, it's the referee's call, to be honest, so the referee will do the countdown and then you can just stop it then. But thanks for letting us know.
Well, Emerald's already pushed in and grabbed C, which is very important, but they got to push on A. They want to get that clock running down. If they don't push for A, then it'll be an obvious people suck maneuver. But Ymir's usually a Biolab they want.
Okay, so it looks like Briggs did do an attempted attack on Ice Mountain Pass. It looks like it's been saved, and also it's Briggs that's only doing the attack on Ice's Southern Cap. Oh, is Warson's Redemption under contention at the moment? That would prevent, because as long as Warson's Redemption is under contention, it means that Ice's Southern Cap will be a free capture for the Briggs in the VS.
No, it's not being contended yet right now. Well, I don't know. Actually, I see what you're saying, yeah. I don't want to fly over there and find out. I'm watching this Biolab fight, which is going the way of the Emerald. They have deployed everyone. It is definitely the full team. I called that one when I saw them pull off the map. I was like, they're going for the Biolab, and sure enough, that's where they are.
Briggs has made an important save at Freyr substation, so that's great for them. And looks like Freyr network compound is continuing to be in their favor, which means and they've got Sunders at Freyr amps. It's very important for Briggs to get the momentum away from the substation and network compound back onto the Freyr amp station. It's also Briggs got slight pop 60-30 to get Matheson's Tramp fully secured and then push back onto Rhine. The momentum that you got at Ice's Mountain Pass means that the tech plant is secure for the time being, and Ice's Southern Cap, so long as Waterston's Redemption is contested, cannot be screwed with. As we can see, there is actually some forces of Emerald there.
Last minute nooch on B point and A point coming in from Briggs, stopping the Biolab capture. 4 seconds to go. I don't think it's going to be enough. Oh, and there goes capture. There goes the Freedom Train.
The Biolab flips.
Freedom is coming in hard right now, keeping that scoreboard moving in the right direction, but it is still a tough fight. Briggs are really bringing the pain. It's only going to take them a moment of time to start grabbing their captures of their own.
Well, they're going to have to go back and save Ymir Southern Reach, so Emerald is playing smart there by making the fight leave the Biolab immediately. But
That's
Briggs
what they
is
do.
doing an exceptionally good job at Waterston's Redemption, making sure the fight stays here. And so long as the fight always stays at Waterston's Redemption, it means that Ice, the Southern Camp, will be a free capture. So that is generally a positive. Freyr network compound tempo play here by
talking
Emerald
about what's
means that they're
happening.
back before that base can be fully secured. So there's not going to be any fighting at Freyr.
They know how the map works.
Yeah, they know how the map works.
The southern lane,
They're
man.
abusing it, you know.
This is what Emerald does on this map. They sit there and push on the southern lane slowly but surely. And what they do is they try to make you okay with ignoring it. You go in, you take a base, think you have it, then they push in a little bit. And they never really try to take it. But as a result of just slowly nudging you there and you having to commit forces elsewhere, they just slowly start snatching up points along your southern lane. But it's usually the weakest pushed lane. It's just incessantly pushed by Emerald. Why they try to push the other top two?
Redemption is going to be fully resecured in the next 2 seconds. I wonder if they've got guys ready to go, because they now can screw with
Take a look.
ISIS Southern Camp.
Take a look at Southern Camp, see if you see people deployed and ready to roll.
No,
They usually
I
like to
don't.
do
So
that.
37 seconds. I don't believe it. Emerald's dropping the ball in one base. What do you have to say for yourself?
I don't know that they actually cared. The thing is, if they go and secure it so that you can't get to Waterston's Redemption, then that's going to prevent them using it as a people suck. They want as many lanes from the VS here as possible. Because that means they're going to keep pushing Waterston's Redemption, which is a total waste of time. And that's what they want. They want their enemy wasting their time.
Well, the fact is, the Biolab is an important hold for Emerald, because it prevents Ymir Mine Watch and Eastern Way Station from being counter-attacked in multiple lanes. But for Briggs, it's not the end of the world, because so long as you fight Southern, which was quite a defensible base, and we see Southern Camp now finally going through, that as long as they fight always at the Biolab, then it's still totally fine in that lane. They can try and pressure the Biolab, unlikely to get it back. The real swing points that would swing this game is attempting to keep pressure at Waterston's Redemption, which is very difficult because Bridgewater is now ticking down.
Where are
but
the
also
redeploying
getting
to?
the cap back at Freyr Amp Station. If Briggs can get the save on Substation Network Compound, get the attack again on Freyr Amp, then that allows them to go into geothermal or material labs, which is enough points currently to win them the game. But this goes back to what we were saying.
We know
at
how the
beginning of
map
game
works.
here,
Stop it.
where can Briggs attack? Can Briggs mount a successful offensive with multipliers to make an attack go through? Because we can see that Emerald's doing it and has done it, and we can actually see a number of harasser forces externally outside at Waterston's Redemption, but we've yet to see whether or not Briggs can field an attack and maintain one.
Well, all I know is I'm looking at the map right now, and it looks like Emerald's actually committing to lock down Freyr Amp Station because, as you know, that one flips super fast. So you try to push out of it as much as you can. But But I'm looking at the map, and Emerald's not making a massive push right now. They're just doing the basic hold maneuver, which is grab as many bases as you can and just keep the timers moving. When you see a bunch of pop just instantly shift off the map, then you know they're making a grab.
Versus, the harasser fighting going on. The defensive ground team for Briggs is now engaging the Emerald harasser teams.
Oh, really hope Fudula's on top of that. Or Fadula, I forget how to say his name, but I hope he's got that one. He's supposed to be following them around.
Yeah, we'll check that out later in the Rage of VODs. So, mixture of Sunderers and Harassers. Basically, the contention going around Watson's Redemption is very good for Briggs that is there. However, they do need to save Bridgeport, although they've pulled, oh my goodness, like 2 squads plus to make a save. They're going to have to go also back to the tech plant. I mean, there's a lot of tempo play, and this is the problem. Freyr Network Compound and Freyr Substation are slowly ticking down more and more and more, and both of them are 60% to 40 for Briggs. They need reinforcements. They need reinforcements at the tech plant. They've got overpop at Bridgeward. That's the problem. So this is what we're saying. It's all about managing your population and how your force composition is set up.
Yeah, but it looks like they're actually committing, like you said, a lot of people to Bridgeward, a lot of people to Southern Reach. But that's the whole point of that southern lane that Emerald likes to do. They like to make you think something's going on down there, so you keep putting too many people there. And it's so far out of the way that when your guys are over there, they can't quickly redeploy halfway across the map. It's our classic Esamir trick to deal with the fact that we've got a pretty good Air Force, but not one good enough to deal with Esamir clear air. Ooh, we got ourselves some Emerald Galaxies starting to do a little harassment over at Freyr Network Compound, keeping the air clear, or at least the ground with a lot of bulldog power.
Just following a Yukas harasser getting beat on by a number. The thing is, this is all cute.
Can hear your game coming through your speakers.
It doesn't really count for anything unless you can actually make it matter, grabbing a base. Now we see that Warson's Redemption is again fully resecured. This is in contrast to, say, Matheson's Triumph, which has never been secured the entire game. And we also see that the game's now beginning to get critical in that there's, Briggs is making a big play for the Biolab. They've got the population advantage both in Southern Reach and on the Biolab itself, but they're about to lose Freyr Network Compound and Substation, 2 very important bases when it comes to the AMP station. Now that's not to say they can't field and retake these bases. It's entirely doable, and we can see a max crash coming into Freyr Network Compound for Briggs. It's great. I mean, they need to apply this pressure.
Oh, Network Compound's starting to get a little love.
Such a nana investment.
The Network Compound's starting to get a lot of love from Briggs. They got 10 seconds to go, but I think they got enough people, man. There's a crap ton of people pushing there on A point.
In the north, are they going to get the...
Yeah, there's the nooch on A point on Freyr Network Compound. They've actually saved it. It looks like we got ourselves a little bit of a Jesus grenade battle going down, but they brought enough maxes to stop it. I think they got this one. How many people they commit to that fight, though?
This is what Emerald's doing. Capture! Making a choose between 2 bases, and
Emerald gets a cap.
And it doesn't lead anywhere particular because it goes straight into Snowshear, but the fact is you can't allow Snowshear to become another Matheson's Triumph where it's always ticking down. Briggs has got to field to sustain the attack and get Substation back. They need to make a full save on Freyr Network Compound without committing too many forces because it sucked in the entire Air Force.
Yeah, and that's what Emerald wanted, though. Emerald, what they like to do is they like to go after more than one base. They like to go after more than one base.
On the tech plant. Yeah, the defense on the tech plant totally pulled away. And look, ISIS Southern Camp is now also ticking back. So the pulling of a save in Freyr Network Compound is jeopardizing 2 additional bases. And if you're playing for tempo, you can't allow the tech plant to tick down from a 7-minute base capture to 2 minutes, because it means you'll always be at the tech plant. If you're Briggs, you want to be fighting at Mountain Pass right now. You don't want to be fighting at the tech plant.
Oh, they can't fight against freedom anyway. It's freedom, man. It's unstoppable.
Freedom. Yes, and who gives you freedom?
Ooh, seeing a good Air Force redeploy by Briggs. I'm following them in, see if I can figure out which way they're going. It looks like they're all heading for Freyr Network Compound.
Oh, the SCU's destroyed at the tech plant as well. That's going to make getting reinforcements awkward. Although we do see some guys going in from the teleporter room. Perhaps they've got a Sunder down there on the spawn room setup. The question is, can they fight their way back up? They're going to be detected by motion sensor. No, they've went to Banana. Okay, so they've gone into the Banana building. They're going to have to come in from double doors on large gun. Which
Banana
is
building,
right
double
here.
doors. I love it.
What are you doing, guys? You got 60 seconds. Why aren't you charging for the cap point?
I hope they cut off. I've got a good animation for that.
Just pulling in a lot of players. you know, they have to basically take a lot of people, but you don't have the luxury of time to.
Oh,
stand
you just
here.
missed the Emerald redeploy to the tech plant.
Well, this is the thing. Emerald knows that this is the next thing. It's sub 60 seconds. I'll send everybody here. And we can see that Briggs has actually decided to send forces to southern camp rather than the tech plant.
Oh, yeah. That's because Emerald's doing what I say they always do. They are dictating what Briggs has to do. Briggs is being reactionary, and that's what Emerald wants. They make you do what they want you to so they can control you.
Freedom is just oozing all over the capture point in ISA. And,
oh, the tech plant's locked down. 15 seconds and no way to get your Air Force in there because it's covered. You're screwed.
The fact is, let's be clear here. The attacking force of the tech plant was minuscule.
Oh, yeah.
Minuscule. It was
they brought way
here.
too many people, though. Look, they brought way more people than they needed to.
No, when it comes to like the final minute, you can't not
Capture!
So I mean it's good for Emerald, and it means that Southern Camp is cut off.
Dude, they just sent their Air Force to the tech plant 2 minutes too late. Oh, and a cutoff!
Now ticking down, like Matheson's. So Snowshoe needs to be secured. Fair Network Compound is going to be secured. That's
Where did we get a
great.
cutoff? I missed
they
it.
can push into the amp station, use their Air Force multiplier that Briggs has. Seems to be the Briggs' air control is sticking, and then get the amp station and cut off substation. That would work great for them. The Biolab fight in the south isn't going anywhere, and we're probably presume
it said there was a cutoff, but I don't see it.
Going anywhere. But Bridgeward is the next important play because you're not expected to lose Bridgeward. You're expected to hold Bridgeward and counterattack Baron since Redemption. And we're not seeing that.
Do you see the cutoff though? They cut off southern camp.
I saw the cutoff, yeah. And we can see that Briggs is actually, Emerald is reinforcing the hold on double building, which is what we're looking at the moment, onto the cap room. And it is Emerald here who is playing the offensive gameplay. All the offensive gameplay is by Emerald, and we're seeing some offensive plays by Briggs, but for the most part, they're always on the defensive foot. And when it comes to pushing to the next base, I'm not seeing Briggs being able to make that important push, and it's really soul-destroying. You say we as if you've ever made a valuable contribution to Emerald in that sense.
Oh, man.
Other than just screaming down the microphone saying charge.
Yeah, the map application and working with Lemgar is how this entire strategy evolved. I mean, it's his idea, but it was developing the map application in order to push this concept of always be attacking. If you're attacking their bases, they can't take yours. And if you dictate what they're going to do...
Are inside the courtyard at Bridgeward as well.
If you dictate what the other team's going to do, they can never catch you with your pants down. As if you've made a meaningful contribution. How dare you?
First 30 minutes in, and the game is leaning towards definitely Briggs.
It's falling towards Emerald. What are you talking about?
Well, yeah, I mean, they got the major advantages. I'm not saying Briggs can't come back and rally here, but the question next comes, if you're looking from a tournament point, right, early on in this game, and you don't want to hemorrhage, but you're still going for the win, but if you don't want to hemorrhage bases, the fact is, fighting Wars on Redemption, that's a large choke point. Ymir is a large choke point. Tech Point's a choke point, and Amp Station, although easily captured, is a choke point. It's definitely stranglehold in favor of Emerald. They've got all the beginning bases, although Southern Camp is fully secured. But look at this, Matheson's Triumph is now sub 2 minutes. At sub 2 minutes on a large outpost, you cannot afford to lose Matheson's Triumph as Briggs. But at the same time, Pale Canyon is a minute and 20, or a minute 40, sorry. So that is also allowing a Lincoln's Enviri Biolab. These are key bases that you can't afford to lose.
Are they actually going to lose Bridgeward? Certainly not.
Bridgeward isn't gonna get. It's 65-33. It's the shifting of populations. I don't think an annoying harassers. I don't think.
Ooh, somebody's having fun.
With the player base that they have and the skill of the.
Somebody's having fun without me.
Pretty much, Briggs is empty right now. They're playing for Briggs. Their Air Force is great.
Ooh, the Air Force just dumped all over Bridgeward.
Okay, so I'm watching this harasser team. How effective is this harasser team being? I mean, yeah, okay, it looks really cool in the snowfield, and the Air Force looks really cool, but let's be clear here. If Emerald's Air Force is grounded,
there goes the cat.
That means there's an extra ground platoon fighting on the ground.
Black Widow, huh?
your guys are still in the air and need to be as effective as those guys on the ground. So we see that the bridge ward is captured.
There goes Pale Canyon.
Popped at 60-30. That's mainly because the Air Force has turned up. We see that Matheson's Triumph has gone back up to 4 minutes, which means the cap points are going, at least one's been captured by Briggs. Pale Canyon, however, and this was the super crunchy base where we had the slightly different Emerald map. This is one of the first contention bases. It's a fantastic base in terms of
fantastic, he says.
Sounds like someone wants to get raped. An infantry.
Got that off
Now
just in
their Air
time.
Force has turned up, and if anything, their Air Force wants to dominate all the spawn options. And they make a save. They make a 13-second save, which means for the next 3 minutes and 40-odd seconds, provided they hold the point...
Oh, they're coming at Pale Canyon. Pale Canyon. I didn't think they would save Pale Canyon, but they just sent everyone. Oh, but it's not enough. The Freedom Train is marching on them. They brought in a few maxes. I think they got it, man. I think they've saved Pale Canyon with 8 seconds to go.
It's close. And it's still super close. The maxes are alive, but not going to do anything. Yeah, okay, so now they get the control of the dead space. And the Air Force needs to dominate any form of spawns. And
Pale Canyon would have been a great cutoff.
Would that have... Oh man, you're right. Yeah, Pale Canyon would have cut off Matheson's. But the fact is, at what cost? Pale Canyon is going to be saved, but ISIS Southern Camp has been lost. They can't spawn back in. It is great that they're pushing the tech plant, but Matheson's Triumph is the next crisis point.
And it's going.
Dumping all the population. Briggs has tried to do an attack on Freyr. That's fantastic. And they're doing an attack on Freyr substation. Also good. They'll need to make a save on Southern Reach because it looks like Pop has been pulled out of it. That's sub 2 minutes.
Oh, they sent their whole Air Force over to it. Matheson's Triumph has the entire Briggs Air Force bearing down on it.
What can... Yeah, but the thing is, this isn't a base that favors Air Force.
No, it doesn't.
Poke your gun inside the door?
No, they're going to try to shoot through the wall, man.
14 seconds. Even if you capture one... Oh, my goodness. Come on, Briggs. Pull this off.
Maybe they'll try to gate shield defuse to their own tech plant. It's always a good move. And there it goes! Capture!
Brutal.
And Emerald's doing what they do best. Wow. Only 15 minutes in. And they are cut off.
Now, Traverse is cut off for your network comp. Now, the fact is, it's not as crucial, but the important thing here, guys, is we are currently using the system of cut-off territory does not count towards alerts. I think we're doing that, right? Yeah.
Towards
I think
alerts?
Maelstrom updated that thing. So cut-off territory doesn't count towards the final score.
Yes. So it should be 32-55, right?
It's worse than it sounds. It's not like, oh, well, they can just fly in and then drop. No, actually, cutting off territory is extremely bad.
Yes.
You do not want to cut off territory.
Yes.
So even if they capture the tech plant, right, that won't matter because it won't count towards territory. Yeah, okay, sure, you've got a large base, and that's fine, and it's awesome, but... it's not going to count. So the fact is, there are a number of ways that Briggs can get around this. They can go for the amp station. Not going to really make a difference in terms of the mining op in Southern Camp or the tech plant. They need to get Bridge Ward back, and they need to get Warson's Redemption back if they want to reconnect. That still doesn't help ISO mining operation. Matheson's Triumph was the linchpin.
Poonenders is laughing his ass off. This battle's hilarious.
And it's very, very awkward right now because... Briggs has yet to show me that they are capable of fielding an offensive action. Yes, they can do defenses. I have yet to see an offense. And oh my goodness, Esamir Southern Reach, because of all the population moving around on the map,
there goes another
one.
one.
To be captured as well. Yeah.
You know, I think it might have been. I'm starting to wonder because every time Rhyme has happened, and I've been in the Force Command chat room or what have you. It's always been like we weren't expecting it. I haven't been in any of the planning meetings this time around because I didn't even know if I'd make it up my stairs. And I'm wondering if we've decided that it works so well in our favor that we just let people capture it.
Well, and it's dead pop, isn't it? And you can just see we're already seeing a leapfrog. And see, this is one of the things that Emerald does, guys. Ymir Southern Reach. The next logical base for Emerald is the Bulwark. They will not abandon Ymir Southern Reach until the Bulwark is already flipping down. When the Bulwark is flipping down, then the remaining forces from Ymir Southern Reach approaches the Bulwark and the fighting begins at the Bulwark. If Briggs is able to make a save at the Bulwark and pushes them
how
off,
Emerald usually does it.
the simple fact is because the base is still ticking down, there's tempo in favor of Emerald. Emerald will make sure they get back to the Bulwark before Briggs
I'm not too
starts
sure
flipping
about
down
that.
Southern Reach.
Unless they've changed their basic tactic on Esamir, Emerald usually ignores the southern lane. They let the bulwark
I'm
just constantly be
giving you
fought
an
over.
example of how they move from one base to the next. They
Well,
always
I was
make
talking
sure
about
that
like
the
Emerald
opposing
though,
base is taken
because
down.
it's so far away. They'll just let people fight over it and we'll stay out of it. They'll only send people
no,
over
you're
there
missing
if
my
they can
point, though.
drag Briggs' entire population over to it so they can leave early so that whenever they try to respond to bases way up north in the middle, it takes them too long to redeploy.
No, you're missing my point. My point isn't the particular lanes. My point is how Emerald moves from one base to the next base, irregardless of whatever lane it is.
Irregardless.
So, for example, they will never abandon the base that they're at and move to the next base unless the next base is already
Well, yeah,
taken
yeah,
down.
that's just how the map works.
Okay, so this is the first serious attack that I've seen done by Briggs,
going on over
other
here?
than the very beginning against Rhyme Analytics. Currently going in a bridge ward. A large number of vehicles, air control, Galaxy still over the top with the gun, watching the capture building. They've got their own harasser outside the capture room, and they've got people inside the double building. So this is the first real offensive play since the beginning by
What is
Briggs
Briggs
that we're
doing up
watching.
here in the air? They're going for
And
something.
The fact is, Emerald is streaming people in, streaming from the teleport room. The capture point is already beginning to flip. The fact is, Briggs needs to pull in perhaps more reinforcements.
You're talking about Bridge,
The
right?
fact is, they've come with what they've got. So they've shown their opening hand, but they need to bring in additional stream of reinforcements over time. It is a 50-50 fight, but the fact is, there's a lot of Air Force going around in the skies. This Air Force needs to pay its weight in gold and stop in the limited number of open spaces Emerald, because look at the streaming swarm of them coming in across the double building into the last kind of link building into the capture point. There's only this small chokehold of external space before they're into the capture building.
You're talking about Bridgewood, right?
Yeah, I'm talking about Bridgewater.
Yeah, yeah. I was
mean,
looking at
good
Bridgewater and I
use
was
of
following
three
in the
maxes.
Galaxy and Air Force push from Briggs. Briggs really wants Bridgewater, and I think they're going to have it. I don't think Emerald's actually committing that much people to this. I
Additional
mean, you see
reinforcements,
the pop,
yeah,
but I don't.
54
It doesn't look like they
45.
want it.
Is at what cost? I mean, it's really great that they get this, and they need
Freedom
to
all over your face!
back on Warson's Redemption. Looks like either
Love it,
Southern
guys.
Camp is being lost. Tech plant has been fully resecured. There is an attack going at Matheson's Tram, preventing any fighting going on at the Traverse immediately.
There goes
But the fact
another.
is, for their network compound, because they can't freely redeploy or move back in, all the fighting's going at substation and not network compound. They can't spawn back in, so that cutoff.
31 to
Matheson's Tram
58.
is
It is looking messy
really
over
beginning to
here.
be felt. And we're now sub 60 seconds, and unlike the previous instance when Emerald was capturing the space, Briggs has to fight Emerald right on the doorstep.
Witness me!
I'd like to see.
I'm witnessing you, baby! Show me that freedom!
Back as much as they've got. They've got complete air control, although Emerald is doing a good job perhaps deflecting off air a little bit, keeping the scythes away. But with this air control, yeah, okay, so it looks like they're flapping them back.
Dude,
Capture!
dude, the NC are throwing themselves through this door at Bridgeward, and they're screaming at proxy, "Witness me!"
This is the last-ditch play here now from Emerald, really trying to get into the capture point from the north.
It just looks like they're burning up nanites. It doesn't. None of them look like they really care that much.
Barry, you've got the grab lift up, mate.
Do I have to get in and out of the vehicle?
Capture! Oh, Briggs got one.
Don't manipulate the match, Farah. Don't go firing their recon darts again.
Oh, he fired recon darts. Oh,
No, I don't know what
You
you're talking
bastard.
about. I never fire recon darts.
I never step out of my observer cam.
What
And
are
it
you
looks
doing?
like Waterson's Redemption has all 4 points already flipped. They were like waiting.
The reason you would ever come out of the observer camera is to, with the crossbow gun, look down to night vision scope and then hit the HUD button, and then you've got full night vision. Then once I fire the gun, shock horror. Anyway, that's beside the point.
Looks like Briggs has a bunch of caps ready to roll right now.
They've got the cap going on at Waterson's Redemption. They've got themselves back on the capture point at the tech plant. They've unfortunately lost Southern Camp, but the tech plant's still under contention. Looks like Matheson's Triumph, which will go over there next. Traverse is actually ticking down as well. Where's my waypoint? There it is. Yes, so B and C is temporarily in the hands of Briggs. So this is great for them. That prevents mining op from being flipped. Tech plant 2 minutes 20, it's not going to make any difference unless Warson's Redemption and Southern Camp are captured. But if it did, it'd be a very wonky connection to Matheson's Triumph and Mining, I guess. The problem is, the Freyr substation fight, a lot of numbers had to go back to Snowshear, and it's now 56-44 in favor of Emerald on Snowshear. Looks like the tank plant is finally being dealt with. And look, a whole 2 squads on Traverse uncontested here for Emerald.
That's the way they like it. Uncontested if they can get it. Snowshear's got a pretty good battle going on. How you doing, baby?
Yeah, and I think this is just beginning to show that Briggs has definitely got skilled players, but they can't be in all places at all times. Emerald has such a depth to pull from. I think it's just really beginning to show here. When you have to fight on all lanes, one weak lane drags the whole team down, and if you've got more than one weak lane, it's so difficult because you're having to, stretch and pull and shift and redeploy and help out, and you can't apply pressure on your own thing. So we see now, ISA mining operations now finally ticking down. Open exposed base, so hard to take. And once
where are we at? Where are we going? Snowshear was a battle. Waterson's Redemption.
Pale Canyon is now ticking down along with Snowshear. So I'll swing by Snowshear and then we're going to go back to Pale Canyon.
All right. I was flying over to Snowshear and then my wife brought me in a hamburger. Meat that sucker. Gonna bring me in an ice pack for my leg. So we're gonna watch this battle while I eat suckers.
Currently over Snowshear, and we see, I question the sunders and the vehicles on the external extremities of Snowshear Watchtower.
I haven't spotted any stealth this round, have you?
Well, that's the thing, it's stealth. It's doing its really good job.
Oh, you found a stealth. I haven't seen a stealth this whole round.
So, well, there was a stealth Emerald Sunder, kind of an janky position next to the tower at Snowshear Watchtower. This armor group for Briggs, kind of combination of lightnings and sunders, is kind of just trying to mop up any spawn options that Emerald has at Snowshear, and that is the best option, I suppose. They need to get all the capture points though, and then apply fresh pressure back on the substation. Then there goes the Traverse. Cut off an inability to spawn back in there. This all comes back to losing Matheson's Triumph, which is just so painful. And Pale Canyon is still ticking down with sub 2 minutes. We're gonna go there now.
Oh, they're sending a lot of pop there too.
Well, this is another thing. When it comes to attacking a base, you do not send everybody at once. You send a small force to seed the base, as it were. Maybe set up some logistics, some spawn sunders, some stealth sunders, that type of stuff. Or maybe you have some battle sunders, some lightnings, that type of thing. And your goal is to suck in like more enemy population than what you've got. If you've got 2 squads, make them bring 3. If they bring 3 squads, it means elsewhere in the map that your team is successful. And if you can hold against those 3 or 4 squads that get sent against you, that's great. Alternatively, the force commander can send extra forces on top of that as the slowly ticks down, so that they might send 3 squads and you've got 2, but then your force commander sends you an additional 2 squads. Now it's 4 versus 3. And when it's on the 2-minute marker, it's okay to have that sort of pop-in balance, as long as you've got tempo elsewhere, +1.
Oh, dude, an infiltrator! An infiltrator's flipping Pale Canyon. No one can see him. Do you see him?
Time is still not critical. 70 seconds. It looks like Emerald is being forced away from the outsides due to the overwhelming Briggs Air Force. Because they can't shoot on all the nukes and crannies. Briggs should get
Oh yeah, here's Briggs all over A. Yeah. Freedom Burger, nice.
That's the save, but what number's 5642? Okay, so slight overpop. Tech plant uncontested, 60 seconds. If they want to stop it, they have to go there.
They sent everyone to Pale Canyon. This is a good opportunity.
Yeah, look, there's overpop at Snowshear Watchtower, but that's because the pop's at Freyr substation. Presumably prepping to go back to Snowshear, not
Oh, and Emerald snatches another one.
Where did they get?
I wasn't paying close attention. I need to make that notification longer.
Yeah, you do. I didn't see a base being flipped.
Yeah, I just got a capture
wait,
notice on my
it was
overlay.
Manning operation. It was ISO Manning up. That's what went through. So we're all seeing that Briggs was doing attack on Ymir Southern Reach, and it did get at least the 2-minute marker, if not longer. I'm gonna go down to the south lane now. Oh, I do believe that is an Emerald Air Force that's down here in the south lane. Oh, Stealth Sunder on the jump pad side of the capture room. It has been spotted by the Air Force though of Emerald. Emerald pounding away at that last spawn center. Spawn options are now gone for Briggs and Ymir Southern Reach, and they're slightly underpopped with the Air Force turning up.
Ymir Southern Reach is
I
for real
guess
thing.
if you're going to capture this base, you need to have solid spawn options that are well defended. And then the problem about Ymir Southern Reach is that the running room from the teleporter into the main kind of capture building is so short that with you can resupply grenades maxes and then run into the building and get up to large stairs and you're in the capture point, which makes it extremely difficult for the team that is attacking and therefore defending the capture point.
Yeah,
it's very difficult to get force multipliers.
The group down in the
small
southern lane,
zone.
I'm telling you, are not even for real. Like, they don't even care what's happening down there. They just incessantly push, and that's it. They won't even be part of the massive redeploys. They'll always be down in that lane just pushing. But
Yeah,
Emerald's not going to really
Bridgewater's
care
really
about those
taking
major
advantage.
captures down there unless they get in close enough to cut something off.
Well, the thing is, even if it's slow, continuous pressure, it's Emerald that's getting bases, and they didn't get the bulwark. I mean, but I wonder if that's due to additional reinforcements.
Because they won't redeploy there to take it.
So complete reversal here. Look at Bridgewater. Whereas when Emerald took when Briggs took Bridgewater off of Emerald, it was pretty desperate.
Freedom
Briggs
smoke,
sent a
baby!
lot of people, and they were fighting right on the extremities of the capture point. Right now, we're looking at Emerald holding the capture point and a really strong defense in depth. 2 minutes to go, and they're basically fighting as far away from the capture point as they possibly can, with plenty of spawn options to the south and to the east. Sub 2 minutes to go. What do you do with Briggs? I want to see what Briggs does here. And are you talking to people in proxy chat?
Oh, yeah. They love it. They asked me to. They asked me to give them some Freedom Eagles when they do it. Yeah, they asked me in the Warp Gate earlier.
You know that's verboten, right? No interference in game.
No, that's not interference. It's just saying freedom.
Yeah,
I know that one guy complained about it for Briggs, and I was like, nobody likes that guy anyway. Ignore him. The rest of Briggs asked me to.
Have you been drinking today, or will we?
I'm not drinking. It's true. No one likes him. He is very well unliked.
Please get out of the doorway.
Oh yeah, baby.
Well, the vehicle terminal was being capped. No, I don't see how Briggs can pull this off. The fact is, Emerald here is just holding them right almost up to the spawn room. 60 seconds to go. 44% pop only for Briggs. So they're outnumbered here, and that's including the Air Force that they've got turning up.
Aw, A-Flick, that's cute. You still haven't grown up. Any engineers
Looks
around at all?
bad, and Bulwark is ticking down as well. Counterattack going at Matheson's Triumph, that's great. Counterattack going at Warson's Redemptions because they got Pale Canyon, that is also good. Bridgewater, hi goodness, what happened to the capture point? Too many of Emerald fighting away from the point, or except it was temporary. Most of the Briggs forces are actually away from the point. You'll see that some of them perhaps start shifting back. There was only a small single hero that tried to flip the point. The Air Force has turned up, but this is too late. Air Force in 30 seconds, this will also prevent infantry forces from spawning if they have overpop. They do, so your infantry's not going to be able to spawn in now because of the
Their Air
overpop.
Force has been running
With all
kind of
this Air
slow
Force.
today for Briggs. Have you noticed that?
But it depends where they are and what they're doing and what they're fighting at. And we can see that the attacking forces at Matheson's Triumph has been pulled. Oh my goodness. The Matheson attack force has been pulled and has now possibly been sent to Bridgewater. I'll check the map in a second.
Oh, yeah. Bridgewater's got a whole bunch of Briggsites running across it now. The Strayans are ready to take down A Point.
The 2 minute warning.
Freedom's got 4 seconds to go to stop the Strayans from dooching the point. Do they have the time?
Capture!
Oh, they do
He
not.
had an infill on the point and he was killing guys off, but this should have happened at 2 minutes. And look at the sheer
I know,
forces
Briggs used to be
sent.
really
It's
good at
96
this.
plus. Too late. It should have happened.
They used to be really good at that whole, like, redeploy the whole Air Force and crush it. I wonder what happened. I mean, even on
Well-
Esamir was one of their best places to do it because of all the free sky.
Well, the thing is, so let's be clear here, guys, and say it to the rest of the stream. What's happening here is that Briggs seems to have maybe one lane they're pulling or a large QRF that they are moving as a sort of whack-a-mole, solve everything problem. And it means that they're fighting, let's say hypothetically, in 5 lanes, but lane 4 and 5 are failing them or are too weak and they're losing it, which means they have to pull everyone from lane 3 to smash lane 4 to save it. But then they have to then go to lane 5, in this instance, let's say call it the bulwark, and then save that. But at the same time, the tempo and the momentum they had on lane 3, which in this case, let's call it Matheson's Triumph, is gone. Which means Matheson's Triumph is going to be a complete resecure, nice and easy for Emerald, and then they're going to apply repressure on Pale Canyon. So because Briggs is moving big forces around to basically brute force save failing lanes, it means they are always going to be brute force saving lanes again and again and again because they cannot remain tempo on all the lanes that are currently active.
So they're losing to logistics.
I mean, the thing is, they need to make a save on Bulwark, and as we're watching here, they are surrounding double doors in the back. And I like the fact that they're doing fresh re-attack on Bridgeward. That is also extremely good.
Well, they were already there.
The last respawn
You know,
Bulwark right now.
NC immediately pulled out after they showed up.
64 seconds until the Bulwark kicks off. The spawn options have not been killed. It's all in infantry at the moment. They're not getting rid of.
They're starting to breach the room, though. The room does not have a lot of people left from the NC side, so I think Briggs will save it. They got plenty of time.
Yeah.
Lasher spam incoming.
There's no reason they shouldn't get this. With the numbers they have, they should be able to run in and finish this off. However, Emerald is husbanding their max force quite well, and they could repulse this. Briggs is leaving this far, far too late. And the problem is that when it actually comes down to it, they're only going to give themselves one shot here. The max coming outside to clean up is extremely potent. Valkyrie coming in for extra reinforcements of the beacon. It's getting ridiculously close now at 22 seconds. It's giving Emerald extra time to bring in reinforcements. 61% population. And now you've got this brute force attempted save. And you're down to 14, 13 seconds? Come on, Briggs! Yeah, there we go. Proxy call. Come on, guys.
Yeah, I was like, boy, they waited real late to call that one.
Finally, on the 8-second marker,
they just wanted a clutch save. That's what they wanted.
But the thing
It's
is,
like waiting for
this
the
extra population that they had to pull into Bulwark. If they didn't,
It's like waiting for the bomb to count down to 1 before you cut it.
Is that population they pulled off of Watson's Redemption? Is that population they've pulled off at Bridgeward? Because they might now lose the cap that they've got on at Bridgeward because there's too many people at Bulwark.
Who knows, man? But at least they saved that cap. That'd have been that's another nail in the coffin. You know, Emerald's just trying to get them under 30 as quickly as possible.
Well, this plays into the wider tournament thing because if Briggs loses today, it means that Emerald will take top spot in the current tournament rankings. Miller will be second, and Briggs will be into third or joint third with Cobalt, and Cobalt is going to be playing Connery, and Briggs is. I forget what Briggs' last game is, who it's against.
I don't know.
I need to have a look into that. We'll do that in a sec. But anyway, as we're getting at, this Briggs attack at Bridgeward, completely different to the Emerald attack. Emerald has this defense in depth, basically controlling the spawn room entrances, even without any air control. Unfortunately, Briggs is all centered around the capture point, unable to defend in a depth. And they're just overwhelmed, they're swarmed in one concentric push, but it's not like supremely overwhelming. Look at that, it's only 56, 58 going up percentage. And we see the next fight is...
It looks like Emerald's pretty committed to trying to take down Pale Canyon at this point.
Well, I mean, Pale Canyon, like, Snowshear is a very awkward base to get into, and so long as Briggs is on their toes, they will not lose that base. You know, they won't be cut off at Palea Solar Array, and that will not allow them to get into Vire Biolab. If Pale Canyon can be captured, it allows Frozen Reservoir, it secures Waterson's Redemption, it goes into Vire Biolab.
That's a good freedom burger.
It looks like reinforcements from Emerald from the defensive save in Bridgeward. No, they still got a lot of forces at Bridgeward, but Pale Canyon, they're out-popped at 44%, so Emerald is out-popped. It looks like Emerald's Air Force is actually overhead. That's impressive.
You see how many people Emerald has at Bridgeward? It's ridiculous. I don't think they noticed that Briggs left. Briggs probably came all over to Pale Canyon to save it. We should see Briggs pile into Pale
Briggs
Canyon
got
here in a
himself a
second.
deployed Sunder right next to the capture building on the north. That's where the reinforcements are coming in, but it's Emerald's Air Force that's softening up the kind of infantry moving into the building. 60 seconds to go. We've seen a lot of close saves here by
Oh, here comes
Briggs
Briggs
on this
pushing in a
base.
massive ground Zerg. They're pushing into the top of the building. Gonna jump across and head for that A point. Here they come. You see them?
Actually looking at the sneaky infiltrators.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of
basically
infiltrators
just,
too.
Hiding.
And there go the
for
Jesus
Emerald.
grenades. A point has been covered, and that Reaver is gonna do no good down there. Briggs ain't giving up Pale Canyon right now. I just noticed there's like a Valkyrie just sitting on the point getting shot at by a little infill. Yep, and sure enough, Emerald did commit a whole bunch of forces, so they actually wanted Pale Canyon right there. I'm not entirely sure what was going on there. Maybe they kind of split their forces between Snowshear and Pale. But
Now this is actually interesting. If you look at Pale Canyon, 50-50 pop, Briggs is making a save.
Yeah.
Snowshear, 50-50 pop, they're making a save. Bulwark are slightly over-popped at 60-40. No big deal. They should be able to make a save there. Should. And they've also got people fighting near Southern Reach, but the fact is it's very good for
it's
Emerald.
far less people,
there.
though.
But if we look at Bridgeward, where has the population for Bridgeward goes? If you're Briggs right now, you need to attack Bridgeward. You need to keep the tempo, realize that the population has left, and re-attack. Why? Look at Old Shore checkpoint. 24
Oh, I
to
have.
48.
They're there waiting for Bridgeward to go so they can smash on Old Shore and go for the cutoff.
Exactly. But the fact is, this entire force, they're being greedy here, could be totally cut off if Bridgeward could be flipped
Briggs is
again.
looking at Pale
And Emerald
Canyon.
does
They
this
see
all
the
time.
timer, and Emerald is betting that they're going to stay at Pale Canyon and not jump on Bridgeward in time. Bridgeward timer is going to cut off, then they're going to smash Old Shore. Here it is.
Okay, so there was a match
Here it
with
is.
some infantry defending the cap point. And this is actually really bad because this now leads to the warp gate. So
Yes.
so
No,
Old
it's
Shore-
everyone. Look at the ground forces at Old Shore.
Oh god.
They brought everyone.
The thing is, I wouldn't go. Ely Tower's nice because by fighting Ely Tower and Old Shore, you're basically spreading the enemy over not just one but two lanes. In the south, you've actually spreading it to the bulwark. But
It
this
looks
is
like the Air
extremely
Force is
bad for
on to him,
Briggs.
though.
Yeah, but this is extremely bad for Briggs because if they lose Old Shore, it opens up a can of worms with Frostbite, and the problem is you can then cut off, and when you cut off, you get all the territory.
Yeah, but their Air Force at the Air Force over Old Shore took care of basically all the Sunders on Old Shore. If they'd have brought a whole bunch of stealth Sundays, they'd have probably been better off. Old Shore's already being
yeah, they're right,
saved.
they're
I think
not
they've already
garage.
scattered the forces by breaking those Sundays, and they're already taking 8 point back. I think Old Shore's not going to happen. And yeah,
Dude,
Emerald's
the
already
Temple's there.
redeployed everybody to Pale Canyon instead.
Yeah, we can see that. Yeah, so
They changed their
basically
mind.
pressuring multiple. Yeah, and this is the thing that Emerald's doing is they're pressuring multiple lanes at multiple
Yeah.
times, and if they attack 4 bases at the same time and 3 bases fail because the defenders managed to make 3 good saves, but you then just shift everyone to the 4th base and you capture it, that's fine. Rinse, repeat. Attack 4 new bases and get 1 every time. And this is where Briggs needs to turn it around, get tempo back, and attack an Emerald base consistently, and then so far they've only been able to attack Bridgeward in a sort
Oh,
of
here comes the
counter-attack.
push from the Vanu. Briggs is pushing the A point on Pale Canyon. They just sent a massive Zerg out of their spawn room and all over the base. And they're heading right for A point with everything they've got. Let's see if they can stop them this time. Freedom is ready to roll. You can hear him in procs talking about it. See if they can hold back the massive foot
This
Zerg.
is too much to ask with 30 seconds. I mean, they're doing the bunny hopping over in the balcony. I suppose it's kind of working. But the capture area, I mean, I really want Briggs to get this
Got some
point.
max action
Come on,
up
guys.
top.
I mean,
Max is dropping down.
they got people there, but the
Come
fact
on,
is
Max.
Emerald is going to collapse.
Got one Vanu Max just
It's all
crushing
about a
guys from
horizontal
upstairs.
approach.
This Vanu Max is bringing the pain. He got killed by Valkyrie, what's it called? Debris. Yeah, and they took
The
Pale
question
Canyon.
thing is, Briggs had people on the capture point. They had people on the cap point, but they simply didn't have enough people on the cap point.
Now
And
they're
that's
going for
just-
Eli or Ellie. And but first sub and Ymir Southern Reach are actually being attacked by Briggs, so Briggs actually has a couple of offensive bases right now, so that's looking good for him.
Thing is, yeah, Osho's still ticking down.
Down
Tower's
sub 30.
Ticking down really bad. I mean, it's good that they're making offensive plays, but Ymir Southern Reach is an extremely difficult base to capture, and I've not seen Briggs prove to me that they can do. They can make a successful capture because, like we said, the runtime between the teleport building and the cap point is so close. I mean, their air force is here at A, but they can't realistically get in and fire on the point.
You
could argue that the lag is in favor.
Is that 70 minutes?
59 minutes.
Ooh.
You could argue that the lag is in favor of Emerald because the server functions in their place, but it's a different type of playstyle. You just have to be more aggressive because of where Briggs is playing from. But the cap point at LE Tower, 32 seconds to go. It's a long run in from the tower. Air Force isn't necessarily helping here. If anything, maybe land and get inside, land on the roof and get inside, get rid of the beacons.
Hey guys,
oh, there we
just
go.
to show you.
What's going on?
I just jumped in halfway through the match to maybe inform you guys a bit about what happened in the air. And,
Something happened in the air?
And correct us if we're wrong, that Briggs
yeah, let me know what you think.
Briggs, we think, has essentially got air control, but it's not basically being turned into advantage in bases.
Alright, yeah, so in my opinion, I'm not even sure if Emerald has got a full platoon of air, because
it doesn't look
I don't
like
see
it.
too many reavers. I see a lot of sites, they have a ball, but as you say, they are not used well and sometimes even wasted. I mean, they had several bases where they had full air control. I mean, at Octagon, they had air over it, they were holding off all the reavers, but they still lost the Octagon to the ground force. They couldn't manage to kill the Emerald guys on the ground. Even though Emerald didn't have any spawns, they took the base. Same thing happened at a lot of other bases. I mean, in the south, at Ymir, at Madison's Triumph, all other bases. The Briggs Air Machine, the Air Force, they can hold the air, but they can't affect the ground.
Yeah, maybe that's
Basically
what
at
Emerald
all.
was going for this time. They're like, well, if we have more ground infantry, then we can overpop every base.
And interestingly, on the Briggs side as well, on the ground, their Sunders, almost all of them have dual Furies. I saw harassers with halberds
Massive
and
drop on
Sarons.
Old
They
Shore.
don't have any anti-air in the ground either.
That's a massive
So
drop
if
by Briggs on Old Shore!
Reavers show up, they can just take out Sunders with their air hammers and Vortex. It's crazy.
Currently watching.
So, I
Briggs
don't
just
know,
took a massive dump on Old Shore.
The air is definitely the air is being held by Briggs wherever the Briggs Air Force goes, but they're not affecting the ground.
Just to hold off for 1 second here. One thing I'm seeing Briggs do is, with the numbers that they've got, they're trying to defend the capture point at Freyr substation, and it is getting close at 40 seconds. However, the very important difference is they are defending inside the capture building. Now that's partially because the air control outside is in the hands of Emerald, but it's such a dangerous gameplay because it means that you get so vulnerable to grenades and being pushed in. You want to do a defense in depth, kind of what Emerald was doing. But 20 seconds to go, they are still barely holding on. They've got good squad support. They've got good repairs going for their maxes. They've got good reses going on. So, I mean, I guess it's all working for them. But it is just dangerous to a big grenade and push because you have to defend at the doorway. You don't have that kind of defense in depth. So many EMPs going on.
We're in the middle of an Emerald redeploy.
Nice.
Oh,
Okay,
Briggs
so
got one.
Briggs gets a base. There you go.
Well, finally.
Well done.
But yeah, the air, for example, now LE Tower, Emerald has the point and has one Sunder with Blockade and Dual Walker. There are at least 12 sites or more all around, and they can't even kill that Sunday.
I saw Vanguard.
Emerald has committed to Eli Tower, LE Tower, depending on how you want to see it. Emerald's committed to it, and I think they're going to get it.
Yeah, I mean, that Sunder is still alive, and they're spawning on it. It's crazy.
I like that. Emerald's still
Sunder's
still alive. They're responding
now
on it.
Briggs needs to consolidate Freyr substation and if potentially push back
What
onto
the hell?
Freyr ramp. The problem
Nice.
is the southern force and the central force, they're securing Frozen Reservoir. They need to get, as you're saying, the tower. And as I fly in the wrong direction, there we go.
Wow.
I'm not seeing any Briggs response for Eli, so...
The stunner just went down, but that's 15 seconds before the end.
Oh, there's an additional... I don't know if you can deploy or not. Yeah, he's
Their
deployed.
Air Force is trying to respond.
5 seconds to go. Last kind of play. Guys, go inside. Come on, go inside.
Capture!
Go inside.
Oh,
wow,
there
so
it
many.
goes.
Interestingly, also, Emerald is using like 5 Valkyries together as mobile spawns, and they're using them very well. They even can get in between all those Briggs air and get people on the point.
The thing is the airball staying as one collective group, or are they splitting over multiple places?
The Briggs
They're
guys
doing
are mostly sticking
stuff.
together, and the Emerald guys are splitting up. I see 6 Reavers
So,
here,
what do you
6
think?
Reavers there.
You think
It's much
Emerald's
more
gonna
effective.
make a push for the amp station? Ellie?
Hey, with
Eli?
53 minutes to go, I don't see why not. The fact is, Emerald is showing us that no base is safe. You know, like no base is safe with Emerald. I mean, you get the amp station, and then that's Ellie amp station. You cut a force pass and bulwark. I mean, there's good Valiant defenses here, but look, all the defenders that were bulwark, it looks like they were pulled back to Ellie Tower. There's a counterattack. Oh, check this out. This is actually quite good. Bridge Ward is a good play because it does cut off the gains of Ellie Tower. I like that a lot. The question is, we've seen fighting now multiple times at Bridge Ward.
Yeah, I don't
They've
think
got
Emerald
air
will let
control,
Bridge
they've
Ward
got
go.
The harassers. They've got a defense in depth. This is
I mean, they're
really
already
good.
popping all the vehicles above it. Emerald's already responding.
But look at this. Emerald's already pushed themselves right outside the capture room. In fact, they're into the capture room.
Yeah, they've already got it. Hide your kids. Wait, no. What is it? Hide your amp station. Hide your tech plant. Emerald's coming
those
after
PPAs
everything
though.
around here.
This is where the Briggs Air Force is.
Too bad they can't capture anything, right?
Exactly.
I mean, they're absolutely decimating that narrow choke building, but it's, unless they can get back into A, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, but interestingly, Emerald took the space from Briggs twice with the Briggs Air Force over it. I mean, look at the point building. Look at that guy now PPAing it. That's what you can do the whole time. And I don't know how Emerald took the space twice with the
Looks
Air
like
Force
Eli
overhead.
Tower's starting to
It's
go
crazy.
back to Briggs, so I guess there wasn't a major push there. Oh, lots of dead NC. I'm hearing lots of chatter and procs.
Well, the
How
capture
many,
point's being reclaimed. Yeah,
Yeah,
but
well, the
the
A
problem is
point-
the defense in depth that you had on one side wasn't.
They have like
outside
4
the
people
whole
alive on A
building.
point, the NC do, so.
They're not. I don't see Briggs holding this or going for it. Now, Ellie Tower is ticking down in favor of Briggs, so that's good. The bulwark, I say good for Briggs, obviously. Bulwark, however, is still ticking down, and this is a base that they have yet to capture, Emerald. But with 1 minute 40, they've got +2 squads on it, and we also see that Anvari Frozen Reservoir is actually being secured, apologies, and Freyr Substation, the base that they just freshly acquired, is now being, fresh pressure is being pushed back, 54 to 45. It's just really, really painful here for
Pretty
Briggs.
calm map right now, if you think about it. It's just pretty,
Shall I
pretty
get
chill.
Dolan here to talk a bit about the ground game?
Sure, why don't you pull him up?
It's a halftime show.
Oh! Well, look who's turned up late. It's Lemgar.
It's Lemgar time.
We'll see what they're doing down there. We might come up in a bit.
I'm gonna watch this last minute at the bulwark.
So, when did Lemgar decide to turn up FODs?
Fods? You're calling me Fods? Lemgar showed up just out of the blue, you know. Lemgar's that guy.
Oh,
He,
man.
He comes up.
Freedom just
he's,
took a
you know,
pounding right there.
Extremely tardy.
Well, they
So
didn't
how
need
is
that,
the
Sunderer.
interpretation of,
I'm not
the
seeing
ground
other
game
ones.
been going on today?
It's been quiet.
35
Ymir,
seconds left,
Flare,
taking out their
Hell's
form of
really,
spawning.
really
We're gonna
quiet.
watch this map, see what's
Octagon
left.
Started about 30 minutes in, I'm gonna say. I've been bouncing around trying to find other fights, and it's just mostly Octagon and Bridgeward. Frozen Lake is awesome. VS had 5 AA lightnings out at
There's a tussle going on at Bulwark at the moment.
out at Octagon.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's a tussle between AA buses, Air Force, and Briggs harassers versus Emerald harassers. Bridgeward and Eli Tower is where the tussle is right now. I'm doing a lot of no-HUD broadcasting, so it looks just stunning.
Would
A
you
lot
say
of
that
battle
any
gals.
particular server's getting an advantage, at least on the ground, more than anyone else?
No, I would say that each fight individually might have a winner, but immediately the losing server side for that one fight gets into whatever
Wow, they
counter
saved the
vehicle
bulwark.
immediately and gets back into
Well,
the
I
fight.
was zoned
So
out.
it's not like it's a
First
steady
substation's
push
been
from that
saved.
perspective.
Well, we're seeing that Briggs' harassers won at least the fight at the bulwark right now in terms of the external range, and they've killed off the spawn options. And in terms of the base, Briggs has actually saved it, but that's because they got possibly pushed off the LE tower, or they had to pull their numbers off.
That's exactly what happened. They got pushed off a tower.
Oh, and we see Freyr substation just going down again.
Oh,
So
and there
Emerald's
goes
taking it back
Freyr.
off them.
I just see a Galaxy here. He's just pumpkin farming with his gunners. I don't know why.
Emerald committed a lot of people to Freyr sub as well, but they got it.
Oh yeah, interestingly also, I see a lot of bail assaults. I don't know why people are bailing from their aircraft as they're going down. It doesn't make any sense.
You know, you don't need it anymore. It's just an air flash.
No, but no, it's not. It's your only thing you're doing in this game is flying. Why
Dude,
the
the
ultimate?
amount of reinforcements that Emeralds, and they don't even have pop here.
Oh,
but
is he gonna save
it's a
it?
lot
I
of
think he
matches
is
are
gonna
going
save
into a
it.
Fight that, technically speaking, they should have
Little
already lost.
repair Galaxy action over here. Man, Briggs has a lot of galaxies up in the air right now. Little repair Galaxy ball. Getting harassed by NC Galaxy. Just running into him. Little whale wars action. Just over Old Shore.
Just a random question. How many bounties have you guys seen?
None.
Oh, yeah, I've seen 2 in the air. On the NC side.
I don't even know how to see bounties yet.
How many pumpkins have you seen?
3 Galacto Lanterns.
I've seen pumpkin heads.
One regular. I've seen sites go after pumpkins.
Gotta trigger that alert, right? Who gets the most pumpkins?
I wouldn't be surprised if they ditched the game and went pumpkin hunting.
Didn't Higby do that once where he triggered that alert during one of our matches?
I think the pumpkin
Snowman.
did actually trigger. It did during one of the games. Yeah.
Yes, last year it did.
The snowman one.
Yeah, no, the pumpkin
It was the
alerts.
pumpkin, yeah, I remember.
Last year. This year we don't have pumpkin alerts anymore.
And a lot of people like abandoned what they were doing and went after the pumpkins. Completely forgetting that those weren't their accounts.
We're watching Emerald at the moment, and this is where the Air Force would really be devastating. They're outside double doors at the Alpha capture point of Bulwark. Spawn options are slowly being picked off, and they're brute forcing their way into the Bulwark's capture point, tying down the population, 53% and 47%. It's
Yeah, the Bulwark and Old Shore have a massive amount of population, and they're both going Briggs' way until just now. The NC were able to push in the
Canyon is where
Bulwark.
the Briggs Air Force is. With 2 minutes to go, the Briggs Air Force is spinning the Emerald ground inside the spawn room.
Oh, are they doing a fresh counterattack? Oh, that's good. Yeah, let's go check that out.
One hell of a brute force attack by the
This is
Masters
pretty
of
good,
Freedom.
But I wonder how long they can keep it up. I mean, we've seen it several times, but they just get picked off one by one by lock-ons or by bursters. They're not using
All they
their
need to
size
do
very
is
well.
buy, like, so the Briggs infantry force needs to do a defense in depth, you know, holding the outside buildings, outside lanes, and the Air Force just needs to buy to about the 35.
Oh, crap. I forgot what his name was. It was Hebe.
To run to the point. And at that point, you know, there's little that Emerald can actually do. Things they have got 60-ish% population advantage. They should get this if this Air Force continues to kind of dominate. Oh wow, check this Galaxy Ball going on.
Briggs is fully committed to the Bulwark, and so is Emerald, man.
Oh yeah, but both sides have a Galaxy Repair Ball, by the way. They're using it alright.
Oh, counterattack. Old Shore was about to be attacked, but look at that. Very well done by Briggs. Going for Bridgeward. Got the Bridgeward.
Yeah,
tip going
Bridgeward
on from
and
behind.
Ellie and Pale Canyon. I mean, it looks like Briggs has got their second win. They're really pushing out.
Emerald just turned off for a moment, right? And we can see
Yeah.
the Pale Canyon.
I think they saw the 27 on the scoreboard. They're like, we're done.
Here comes the push.
Emerald's
Check the numbers
pushing on
coming
the
at teleport.
north side.
With 22 seconds to go, the run time is just too much. They simply can't run. Oh, but
Spawn's
a drop.
flipping.
Oh,
On the
they
point.
saved
Emerald
it.
is really using their
It's
valves
by
well.
precious time here. If you're Briggs, it's time to fall back on the point, flip it, and then just stand on the point. The run time for Emerald is still too much. There's no
Where are the
reason why they should
PPAs?
save this. Briggs should totally get this, because the run time is just too much.
And there it is. Nicely done.
That was a good attempt there by that Valkyrie drop. It was buying precious time.
Yeah, bottom a few seconds.
It's a big gun.
Almost back to 30. If they can keep the bulwark pusher going through.
Not Roy 70% at the moment. Oh well, there you go.
Well, the thing is Emerald had committed a sizable force to Pale Canyon as well, and they were able to stop it, so good on them to actually be able to stop that force. Gotta go for those spawn points, man.
Yeah, the thing is, constant, fresh, kind of spawn options constantly streaming back to the bulwark, and that is smart play. And
You have
what
to.
we're not seeing from Briggs is we are seeing like harassers, and we are seeing like forces trying to pick off the spawns, and they've picked off the spawns again, and I just lost the bulwark right now. They've picked off the spawns of the bulwark again and again and again. But what would have been interesting to me is, at Ymir Southern Reach, would it not been better to hack the terminal or destroy the terminal or maybe even camp the vehicle terminal at Ymir Southern Reach? Because then you'd have to, I don't know, spawn at Mine Watch or Terranville 4, completely awkward kind of vehicle reinforcement sections. But anyway, Bulwark is captured, and now the fighting moves on to Ellie Forest Pass. We see that the Bridgeward cap is down to a minute 30, although the red pop will go there, and Ellie Tower is also ticking down. We checked Bridgeward, and the cap point's finally been lost. Yeah, okay, wow, Emerald's right outside the door. Inside the door.
Looks like Emerald's starting to push again. You're starting to see all the points flip back in Emerald's favor. Although there was a little touch on Waterson's Redemption. Good on Briggs for pushing that one and locking the point out. Of course, they're going to have to wait for Bridgeward to tick all the way down before they can get that lock.
Massive galaxy in Scythe Ball at Bridgeward.
Oh yeah, man, the whole Air Force is over
They
there.
don't have the control of the point. It's kind of like a
This happened earlier. Emerald pounds the
seen this
point and they
before.
send their whole Air Force.
Deja vu, and right, so we got fighting at Watchtower again, Snowshoe in the north. Pale Canyon is refusing to go.
Emerald
These are
stacked.
two very important linchpin bases preventing any additional progress, and then you have the additional 2, 4, 5. It depends how you want to look at it. How they break out Bridgeward, Tower, Forest Pass, Bulwark. But the important thing here is equal populations. Is Forest Pass is uncontested, at least in the beginning. So there's no pressure on the southernmost lane. They've got themselves set up on the capture point. Yeah, okay, they're doing a small spawn room contained. It's only small forces. But it opens up the door for like additional reinforcements to force us through when it gets down to like the 2-minute marker. At 2+ squads.
I'm not sure, man. It looks like there's a whole bunch of points going down right
Extremely
now.
high altitude. Sorry, extremely high altitude galaxies over at Ellie Forest Pass for.
Oh, that's where they went off to.
Oh, but they've been spotted by some of the.
Bridgeward's finally being saved. Kind of a dead spot right now. Not a lot going on.
Well, 220 on Ellie Forest Pass as we kind of calm down for a second. Relentless pressure here by Emerald, constantly pushing. The attack on Ellie Tower has failed. The attack at Bridgeward has restarted, but at what cost? The fact is, Bridgeward is going to go through after Ellie Forest Pass, which means Ellie Amp Station is going to be doubly under threat. I guess we'll go check out Bridgeward.
I'm going to keep an eye on Forest Pass for you. I'll let you know what happens. Bridgeward might actually turn into this lane's people suck, I'm thinking. It's a lot of back and forth on that base, and there'd be an opportunity to get Briggs to commit too many people, including their Air Force. Generally, a good people suck is on the edge of the map, but you gotta put them where you can.
Well, a reinforcement of Sunderers coming into Bridgeward from Octagon. Massive
yeah.
bus,
Yeah,
bus
seen
push.
Oh,
Looks like AA.
Fodilla, if you want to go back and talk to Lemgar and just chill out in the channel, by all means, you're welcome to do so. We're just doing an update.
No problem. Is that your nice way of telling me you want me to get out of here?
No, I'm just saying if you want to go chat to your butt buddy because you don't want to talk to me during the stream, you can just go right ahead. Wow, check the max crash that's going on in A. It's impossible to stop that without like a harasser or something driving around.
Oh, Ellie Forest Pass getting stopped by enterprising young infiltrator.
That's like 6+ maxes, along with 7, 8 maxes, and accompanying infantry.
Bridge Ward is just, they've committed everyone to Bridge Ward.
It's a save though, I mean, it's just ruthless. I mean, you can see that Warson's Redemption is ticking down. What? What
Nicely
spawn options have
done.
we got? Okay, I like the fact they're attacking you. All 4 points, 3 minutes 30. That's an extremely long time in a large outpost. They are trying to cut them off from behind. I suppose it's a good play. You get Warson's Redemption, you get 2 cut-off territories that don't count. But the thing is, you have to approach it from Pale Canyon Chemical, and that's such an awkward, junky-based attack from. And you see Pale Canyon Chemical is also now being attacked again. Slight overpop for 60-40 for Emerald's favor. Ellie Forest Pass, big numbers there for
Behold! EMP grenade, bringing the pain!
In the next, what?
Oh, the Vonnie are starting to breach Forest Pass from the ceiling, dropping the EMP grenades and clearing out the A point.
But it's a lot of people though. I mean, did you really need to send 80% population to stop that?
You send what it takes.
Nah, you send what it takes, and if you have to send like 4 times the numbers, then there's a problem, because that's not a sustainable tactic.
It's hard to get good peeps sometimes, though. I mean, look at Bridge Ward. That's like 80 to 20 there. Emerald committed everyone to take that base and save it.
Oh wow, so in terms of the Freyr substation attack, they're actually trying to attack, or it looks like they may be flipping the point. Thing is, they're here before the point is actually flipped, which means it's extremely dangerous because they're being counter-capped to Snow Shear Watchtower. It's entirely possible. 3 points, it's impossible to watch them all. And their only spawn sunders are being harassed by Reavers, although I guess some anti-air is kind of fending them off. That's kind of effective. Oh, Liberator comes in, gets rid of the spawn option. So when Emerald needs the Air Force, they bring it in, does exactly the job it needs to do, and then it leaves.
Well, something I've noticed that's going on, it's the same thing I mentioned earlier. That southern lane is one that Emerald doesn't care about. They're going to incessantly attack it, but only with a small force. So when you saw Briggs dump a massive force to stop the LE Forest Pass, Emerald doesn't really care. What they're saying is that the big force you sent there, now they've got to figure out how to get back up to the upper part of the map and protect it. And as soon as they leave, the guys who are not leaving the southern lane on Emerald's side will just push back in and keep relentlessly pushing that lane.
Well, additional Sunders are being brought up from Briggs, and you've got a totally good point there.
They're already pushing the amp station.
They're bringing additional Sunders on the Freyr sub. You're right, the amp station, small numbers are taking it down. Looks like LE Forest is going to be fully saved with the numbers they've got. Bridgeward isn't going to go anywhere. Looks like the attack on Warson's Redemption has been totally repulsed, and it's all being fully saved now. And it looks like Pale Canyon cap point.
Been saved. Pale Canyon with 7 seconds to go. They sent everyone. Wow, that's a massive army for a battle they didn't need that many people for.
Oh wow, yeah, the number of Emerald on the southern building threatening the capture point. Air Force is here, and this is the problem. This isn't exposed. This is actually one of those bases where...
It's a good last second save though, right?
It's not
the point's still blinking. Why is the point still blinking? There we go. Oh man, wow. They sent everyone to Old Shore again. That's what they did. Don't care. Everybody from Bridgeward went to Old Shore. About to watch the massive redeploy from Pale Canyon over to Old Shore. But how long will they sit at Pale Canyon before they head over to Old Shore?
This is got to be what the...
Oh yes, Emerald did exactly what I said they should have done. They went to Old Shore with regular Sunderers earlier and they got crushed. This time they brought a bunch of stealth Sundays.
Okay.
Shh.
It's
Tell
a
nobody.
platoon plus. Yeah, so give an example. I'm on a character that's VS, and I'm following the harassers here. So it's kind of a harasser fight going on, and there's a lot of emerald here at this capture point. The fact is, the fighting can't go in at Bridge War, so all of Briggs has to kind of redeploy and come back. They need to make a save at the AM station, and they need to make which means they can't go for early tower. That's totally locked off. And Old Shore is now under the.
They've hacked the vehicle terminal at Old Shore too, and they just keep spawning more stealth Sundays. This is going to be ridiculous. I think Old Shore is going to be a real pain in the ass. It's going to be good.
Yeah, well, I mean, the air's here. Would stealth Sunders or like Walker Sunders or lots of anti-air or?
Ooh, already popping Sundays, but have they spotted? Ooh, they spotted one, I think. Couple other stealth Sundays are still up. They spotted one of them, though. They're really starting to push that Old Shore. And they're popping Sundays left and right, but they haven't found them all yet.
There's nobody on the point.
I know, right? It's almost as if it's almost as if they know they're just fighting guys in the air and no one on the ground.
But one guy could go to the point and stall it, right?
Right? Just one little infiltrator. There's a couple infiltrators heading over. I think they're just guarding the spawn room.
Closer and closer.
Just drop out of your scythe, dude. There it is. Yeah, they got two guys on the point now. One infiltrator from NC is watching it, picking people off.
Pale Canyon's been ticked again. The attack and fair sub. It looks like this is the kind of stabilizing line. Doesn't look like we're going anywhere here. I guess.
Oh no.
To Briggs' compliment, I mean, they're doing attacks and they are getting certain bases back. They've proven that they can get Bridge War back. They've proven that they can get Freyr Substation back, but not more than that. And the question is, can Emerald, press in the screw in the last 30 or so minutes that we've got left here? Can they get, Old Shores they've tried to go for a couple of times? And the problem is, it's just so exposed, and the Air Force is so close to the warp.
I can't believe they found all of the stealth Sundays and popped them all. I was like, wow. That's some skills.
Just randomly shoot in a lot of places.
Yeah. Just keep going till you see it, or hang out way in the air until you see people just popping out of nowhere. You can watch your mini-map and pretty much take a good guess at what stealth Sundays are.
Well, yeah, you follow the trail of infantry where they're coming from, wouldn't you?
Mm-hmm. It's like a trail of ants.
That used to be the case in PlanetSide 1. You'd use your CUD, which is the command uplink device, in case you're wondering, and you do reveal hostiles, and then you would see all these dots in the minimap and a trail leading from the dots towards your base. And you're like, oh, okay, the Sunder's there.
They're back at Old Shore, though. Somehow Emerald has resecured A points. I'm not seeing any Sunderers, though, so I don't know what they're doing for deploying. Other than, like, a couple of bacons.
Ellie Forest Pass. Ellie Amp's fully saved. I mean, they could theoretically re-attack now at Ellie Tower, which they have just done. It is ticking down. But Ellie Forest Pass, 2+ squads are now there, and there's the Old Shore, so there's a lot of attack and fighting going on. Now, they were just pushed off Pale Canyon, or about to be. I wonder if, because, so Emerald has a lot of time. They have Mathesons and Watersons. They could buy time on those two bases and extremely push the south. That's not necessarily something Emerald would do, buying time with a large outpost to force smaller on. But they could supremely dump a lot of population on these bases.
Man, I know the Air Force has redeployed themselves to Old Shore to make sure they can sync it up. But it doesn't look like Emerald really wanted this base. There's just a couple of bacons on the ground, but no Sunderers. Like, it's not a real commitment, just enough to pull the Briggs guys down here while they try to take, I don't know what. I don't know what Emerald's after at this point.
No one wants, I mean, be honest, if you were Emerald, would you want to stand on that capture point?
No. 30 minutes.
I mean, Emerald's using a Valkyrie to bring in reinforcements. It's sort of kind of working, but there's so much PPA spam. It's just grotesque.
Yeah, gotta love that PPA spam.
The LA Tower cap's been repulsed, and the Forest Pass.
I don't know how these
80
NC guys
seconds to
keep
go, they've
popping
got
in on this
control.
base. Where are they coming from? There's a lot of
Which
bacons
one?
on the ground, I guess. Yeah, they don't have any Sunders on the ground. I guess they're just coming in from the beacons. That's amazing to actually do that all beacon style.
Long-range firefight going on, but the Vanu's not necessarily pushing an LA Forest Pass. In terms of numbers, they're slightly underpopped at 47%. It's leaving it kind of close because of the constant pressure at Old Shore. It means that numbers can't necessarily go to LA Forest Pass, and it is only 1 to 2 squad numbers. There's a lot more people coming in from the northeastern area, but all these kind of vantage points that Emerald's kind of firing from all the different directions, making it very awkward and slow to get to the capture building. And to be honest, we've reached the point now that they don't have enough people to get there in time. The LA Forest Pass is going to fall because the time it takes to run from the spawn room is too long.
That's Emerald's fighting style, man. Get you fighting over something else so they can take something out from underneath you.
And Max is on the bridge from Briggs. It's just too slow.
Capture!
There we go.
There it goes.
Emerald takes Forest Pass now and is pushed right up to the amp station. But in the sense, you know, for Briggs, it makes it easier to defend. There's only one particular.
In all fairness to Briggs, probably not enough time to get dominated, so at least they're holding up.
Yeah, I don't know if that could work because certain bases are just too exposed with the Air Force.
Yeah, I think they'll be fine.
Oh man, the reinforcements turning up on the roof, but it's just a little bit too late. And that seems to be kind of the reoccurring issue here with Briggs. Maybe too much to one place or just not enough at the right place at the right time.
I got a feeling that Emerald's going to try to dump everybody at the amp station here in a second. I'm just waiting to see it. I'm seeing that's basically the amp station.
Well, the amp station's...
Southern lane or northern lane is screwed because you can't deploy there fast enough. Don't know what they're going to do. Feels like the amp station, though.
It's interesting. So Emerald is actually using galaxy drop-ins, like sacrificial galaxy drop-ins to drop on Old Shore. Doesn't look like it's a smart idea. But that being said, the amp station, as you're correctly saying, would be a fight that favors the ground forces rather than the air forces because the air wouldn't be able to get in as long as you don't take down the shields. So as long as you've got plenty of Sunders in the central area, you could theoretically take that down.
You think Old Shore's a feint. It doesn't look like Emerald's... I mean, they're putting people there, but it doesn't like they're actually committing nanites there, other than, like, you know, blowing up a few galaxies. But I think that's why they're blowing them up. They're not actually trying to keep them. They just want to keep the pop over there, so Briggs thinks they need to protect it. But I'm just waiting to see what they're going to do with all this southern population. It looks like they moved it all to Matherson's Triumph for some reason. They can make a push for Pale Canyon again?
Cuts off, but the problem is... Sunder protection is extremely difficult because of all these harassers. They see a base is under attack, they go there, they pick up the spawn option, which they've just done. That kills the attack dead. Just by natural attrition, you can't keep the fighting up at Waterstone Redemption. And without like a garage or a proper defendable area, you can probably sneak Sunder into these little edges. You need to constantly babysit those Sunders, and it's extremely difficult.
So the Pale Canyon has begun. They have a bunch of Air Force ball in the top, and Emerald's really starting to dump up their pop on Pale Canyon. So I think that's where the fight is. Looks like that's where they deployed to. I knew they probably wouldn't deploy everybody to the south because it's dangerous, so they definitely found a middle base to push out from. And they loaded everybody at Waterson's Redemption first so they could pull vehicle, or Matheson's Triumph, so they could actually pull vehicles, I'm assuming. Well, they hit both of them. They came in from both Matheson's and Waterson's. I think they're surrounding the base.
Sorry about it.
Looks like Briggs isn't having any of it. They're already pushing into the point.
Yeah, they're here. They made a save. I think this is just becoming rinse and repeat here. Doesn't look like Emerald has the forces or the strength to take Snowshear in the north. Constant redeployments. Briggs has basically stated Pale Canyon is a no-go base. You cannot have this. Old Shore is too susceptible to Air Force. And I suppose, realistically speaking, Bridge Ward... Well, they've got the tower. They should be able to flip it if the GSD in. And a forest pass is going back.
Yep, still contested.
Bridge Ward is also ticking down. 3:30 to go. We'll check out the tower, as you're saying. It's NC now. They should be able to flip.
All right, so it's unlocked now. Let's see what happens. I don't think any GSDs are in, are they?
Clear out of that area.
Attack lines.
Got a couple. You got the Vanu there. Have all their vehicles inside the garage to keep the NC out.
So, Briggs, there we go.
There's one enterprising NC trying to hold down the A point by himself. Got a GSD in. Don't know how long they'll hold up though. There's plenty of Vanu protecting the amp station.
Died instantly though, and the question is, if they're going to come in here, they're going to have to do that again and again just to smash their way in, because
there's not enough room in this garage to bring everybody they have to.
And Briggs, oh, now this is an interesting thing. Briggs is putting in fresh AV mines, and I suppose there's nanites to be had, but it's so expensive. I mean, to put down so many nanites, but if you want to defend the amp with fewer people, I guess.
At this point, what are you going to do? But they've already locked the base out again. They pushed the tower and they pushed to Forest Pass, so now it's like a pointless endeavor until they lock that back out.
Oh, I like the fact that Frere substations are going to go there next. But yeah, but the thing is, if you're staying defending LE amp station and you're putting down, okay, here comes another Sunder, and you're putting down lots of AV mines and you're just playing here, playing the defensive game, well, does that mean you're mentally resigned to the fact that I'm always going to be here and I'm always going to defend?
Not sure, but I do know I do like that
game.
play on first sub. It might actually go unnoticed for a while.
So
I think they might actually get it. I think there's so much going on down here that Emerald might not even notice it.
Well, they've only got 56% population, and the attacking force at Pale Canyon could be shifted to fair sub. Spawn options, we've got a kind of convoy of Emerald Sunders getting rid of the Briggs spawn options slowly. 2 minutes to go. It's still a long time. Air control definitely in the favor of Emerald at the moment.
Yeah, Emerald's already responded to all the threats, and they're still pushing the Eli.
And they're getting rid of the last spawn Sunder now as well, with a kind of blockade and twin repair Sunders.
I got a feeling they're really going to bring everything they can to Eli. Probably is going to be the last big push. We shall see how much freedom they can bring, because this is a tiny amp station. That garage is even smaller.
What's up, Mel?
You got the grab lift bug again.
Really? God, jeez, oh.
The
You
what?
not hear it in game?
No, I'm afraid I can't.
Alright.
Thank you very much. Solved.
What'd you have?
Sometimes you get the grab lift sound effect. I don't hear it.
Oh, I hate that.
Well, sorry, stream. Now the cat point, we can actually see that the air hammer's poking his head in rather than a cipher once. Oh man, but look at this. They've moved their battle Sunder, then deployed it right next to the capture point with 60 seconds to go. I don't really see how Emerald can lose.
How many shots does it
given
take?
the proximity of spawns and the lack of spawn options for Briggs.
They still committed everybody to Eli. Ella.
Yeah, that's it. It's a push off.
Yeah, no gunners on that GSD. I don't know what the hell they're doing. I think they're just taking out shields. What do you say? I'm friendly, you should tell me.
I mean, there's an attack by Briggs going for Matheson's Triumph. I mean, it's divisionary, preventing them from going from Pale Canyon. Doesn't look like either team now can really make a push. So I guess it's extremely positive for Briggs. They've stemmed the tide. It's not going to be a runaway game, because like if the linear chart had followed like it was at the beginning, and I'll show you here. See the map timeline. It was fairly consistent right up to well, come of the latter points. I don't know if this timeline's kind of really accurate, but basically the last kind of section along here in this timeline is kind of generally stabilized out. It's only one extra base because of the early forest pass. But if it was going at the same rate as it was before, you would have had all the bases, and it would have been a domination victory. Bring up some stats here while we're at it. Go back to Bridge Ward, I suppose, and watch the cap point while we bring up some stats. What's the top weapon? What'd you think?
Me?
Yeah, using your fancy overlay and all that kind of stuff.
Oh, I don't
Tell
do
me what the
stats.
top weapon is?
I'm not a stats guy. You know me. I don't even. Whenever I use Yo's overlay, I don't even pull the stats up.
So what do you think the top weapon is?
Orion.
Second.
Godsaw.
Clear out of that area.
Oh god, no, that's not even on the list.
I don't know, dude. I'm not a weapons dude.
It's an NC weapon. Come on.
I don't know them. I don't play
It's an
heavy.
anchor.
Anchor. Oh yeah, I've heard a lot about the anchor, but I don't play heavy. It's too easy. I switch to heavy when I'm getting tired of getting killed for like a second, and then I'm like, oh, okay, I'm back.
Okay.
Although lately, when I get tired of getting killed all the time, I'll just play Connery for a minute, and that's the easy mode I got. Love my Connery guys, but man, if you play on Emerald for a while and go to Connery, people will die real easy. All right, where is the battle at, man? They're all over the place. They're still fighting over Bridge Ward, and Eli Amp Station's got nothing going on.
There's a deployed Sunder for Emerald right next to the capture point or slightly under it at Bridge Ward. Air Force is here. I guess they're beginning to soften it.
The Briggs Air Force basically lives at Bridge Ward now.
Yeah, I mean, there's a small fight going at Ellie Forest. There's a small fight going at Ellie Towers. I'm going anywhere. Pale Canyon is ticking down again.
Now you were asking me earlier about anti-air. Have you seen much anti-air? Like, I'm seeing a Skyguard, like one Skyguard on the ground right now. That's about it.
Other than when Emerald moves with Sunders and using walkers on the Sunders, not really, no.
Yeah. I mean, that's all you're going to do. In this map, you almost always run walkers on your Sunderers. Normally, we'd run half and half, Walker, Fury. But on this map, it's almost always double Walker. Because you're just so exposed. Grenade out! Frag out! Grenade out! Frag out!
Again, it's a small token force at Pale Canyon. I mean, this is a gentleman's agreement not to fight anymore. I mean, we're watching this, and it just feels like it's...
Lay your arms down. It's time for a pumpkin hunt. Oh.
That would be good.
Vonu Sunderer coming in to take out the NC Sunderer. Here he comes. Oh, NC Sunderer's already down. He had nothing to take at. Nice.
There's got to be enough Briggs forces now in the southern building to push onto the capture point at Pale Canyon. But just over 15 minutes to go.
Yeah, well, what are you thinking? Are you thinking how many? You think we're gonna get a couple more points one way or the other? Where are you betting your money for these last 15 minutes?
Briggs could totally do Frere sub. When it gets sub, what's that? When it gets sub 7 minutes, I'm just hearing proxy chat. Sub 7 minutes, Emerald can make a play where Matheson's Strength and Warson's Redemption can't be contested. They could really heavily push one particular base. We can see actually they're beginning to tick down Ellie Amp Station now. I'll go check that one out.
I'm seeing a lot of fatigue on the field, but I've got a feeling that either Emerald is either going to snatch up Eli Amp, or they're just going to send everybody to Eli Amp the last few minutes just to like angrily take it after the clock goes.
Emerald's decided to take the shields down.
Yeah, they've been going after the shields for the last 10 minutes. That's what I was up at the base watching them do. They just kept going after the shields.
If I was Briggs, I would not repair the shields. I'd leave it open. Maybe
yeah, let them get in there and blow up on your mines.
Yeah, well, the thing is, if I would maybe pull in vehicles from other barracks, or I would, because you're not gonna have the control of the V-pad. Or if my Air Force turns up, I can fire through the non-existent shields, destroy the vehicles that Emerald has in the V-Bay area, and then I can get into the capture zone extremely easily.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, at the moment, it's a very tenuous hold at best. 2-1 out.
And they just stopped their planes from being able to shoot into the base.
What? They repaired it, and the Air
Yes.
Force now turns up?
Well, to be honest, the vehicles, the terminals are down.
That's true, but I don't know.
I'm just waiting to see Briggs
fixing the
GSD
shields
into
is the
this
right
base.
thing.
That's what I want to
I
see.
suppose fixing the shields means you get the ability to stand right next to the capture point and fire rockets and not be shot at. I mean, that has its own viewpoint.
Shield generator critical.
Oh, amount of conks and grenades coming through there from the cap point shield. And there's the push, and thing is, at what cost? 70-30. So we see that Bridge Ward is fully secured, and there's now an offensive at Old Short again. It's 48 plus at Bridge Ward, which I guess hypothetically could go to Old Shore because Ellie Tower and Ellie Forest are both secure for the next 80 seconds. We see there's another mega push going for Pale Canyon Chemical. I suppose forces from Bridge Ward could go to Old Shore, or they could go to Pale Canyon. Old Shore is already 50, panning out 50-50. Pale Canyon could totally be captured for the... Have they actually captured Pale Canyon yet? I don't think they have, not once.
No. Yes. Because the base is held for 30 minutes, so it's been kept back and forth.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Oh yeah, and the Frozen Reservoir was going back and forth as well. Yeah, no, I remember seeing that, yeah.
I'd actually like to win this fight.
There's a lot of vehicles from Briggs and surrounding snowfields, or the Frozen River, perhaps about to make a play for Bridge Ward, but need to get a secure on Old Shore checkpoint. In terms of population, where are we? I wonder where the NC are at this base. There's no Air Force, and I guess they're just sort of chilling.
That's why I joined this channel. There haven't been many air battles for the last like half hour. Emerald Air Force is almost non-existent. I mean, there are a few Reavers now over Pale Canyon, but there haven't been many air fights at all.
The Bronu sovereignty has taken the facility.
Well, Briggs is pushing now at Pale Canyon.
I'll go check that out.
They're just coming through the building between spawn and the triple stack.
Sorry about that. I had to pee in one of my nice piss containers. Filled that guy all the way up. It's like a whole liter of piss. Good stuff.
The point they couldn't run on the point.
All right.
And it's at that
Pale
position
Canyon.
where the actual point, this defensive firing line.
No capture notifications in the last several
Briggs is
minutes.
not getting through it.
They need to airdrop.
They've got Reavers around and a dual Fury blockade bus inside.
You think they're gonna do it? You think they're gonna take it? I think they're gonna get it, man.
Emerald's gonna get this.
Yeah.
Briggs just doesn't have the numbers, the time to get here.
They can send their whole Air Force, man. PPA it.
Well, everyone from Snowshears.
Keep rolling. You've got this.
Yeah, now where's the Briggs Air Force?
Emerald's
This is
catching up in
basically the
TK.
only time I've seen the Emerald Air Force in the last half hour. And
Hey,
they're
someone
helping
said
getting
on the
base.
stats, Emerald's actually catching up in TKs. So that's, at least something, right?
Well, we're watching that Briggs is actually on the point with Maxes and some infantry, but all the surrounding Emerald just
And down it goes.
and grabs the capital.
Nicely done.
And Old Shore's also ticking down now, so that's an additional base. I guess they can maybe hold on to it now, Briggs. I can see, oh wow, look at this armor on the eastern side for Briggs. I don't know what's going on there. Anyway, moving on to Old Shore.
Yeah, I just realized that some of the guys that are playing on Emerald are guys who were banned from playing from Briggs.
R18, you mean?
Yeah. Not RIT.
I don't know where the Briggs
R118.
Air Force is now.
Well, it's definitely not over Old Shore because we have burster maxes and more anti-air on the roof, just flacking away at a distance.
It's not over Elite Force Pass either. I wonder where the Air Force is. I guess it's Snowshoe. I'll take a look.
Maybe nanites are beginning to take an issue and resupply as a problem, but we see considerably more new conglomerate at Old Shore checkpoint. 9 minutes left in this game, roughly. They're not going to get to the warp gate. They're not going to be able to do like that. But Frozen Reservoir is ticking down. Old Shore checkpoint is ticking down. Populations are still relatively bang on even, slightly skewed by 1% because of the Fun Police and us, the admins.
I found the Briggs Air Force. They were gathered up in the warp gate, 24 to 48. They're moving out now towards the north.
To be honest with it, we really needed is probably Old Shore. Yeah, that's the biggest open exposed point.
Yeah. It looks like they're going towards Snowshear. I don't know why. Oh no, Unburied Frozen is where they're going, of course.
And they're saving it, saving the Old Shore. Boy, Emerald really wants that Old Shore pretty bad. They're gonna tear up Advari Frozen as a nice consolation prize, though.
When it's open and exposed, it's pretty tricky now. Check out Frozen Reservoir now.
Oh yeah, they want that one. They're digging in.
I suppose the Biolab could still hypothetically be contested if you get this.
Didn't even think about that. Forgot there was a Biolab over there.
The anti-air from Emerald is crazy at Unburied Frozen Reservoir. There are about 10 Sunderers all shooting up with walkers. That Briggs Air Force is not getting close.
You gotta do what you gotta do.
Hey man, it works. That's the thing though.
Yep.
That is a lot of walker spam. I love it. See, it doubles up. You can spawn on them, and they hold up a lot of strength. They can handle pounding, and they can take care of the guys coming at your air.
Turned up.
Ooh, one of them just got bombed by a light assault, I think. Something just came out of nowhere. No.
There's
Long distance sassing.
The
They're getting long distance sassing, yeah. Getting a little sass. Anti-air's getting pounded. Their engineers need to get on it.
Sides flying low and
7 minutes remaining in the match. Right now. 7 minutes.
Sweet.
7 minutes.
My timer is like 100% accurate. Ooh!
Vehicles are being slowed
I like that guy.
From the capture point, but this doesn't negate the fact that
yeah, but they still have
the base itself.
They got a blockade dual Fury Sunder at the spawn, blocking the spawn.
No spawn for you!
And the thing is, they're not even at the capture point. That's the problem.
Kill these motherfuckers! They're Joker guys. They're useless.
Yeah, he's telling you what to do. Bring that freedom, baby. I don't know who that guy is, but I like him.
This is lovely vehicle fighting, but unfortunately, it's not making a squat bit of difference in terms of internal mechanics on the base. The spawn options are still available to the NC. Wow, that's a big jump of that rat.
I don't see an NC spawn, Sonny, though. Or is it on the east side? Oh, yes, it is.
Oh, some Reavers turning up. A mixed kind of air battle going on.
We go for the fucking Biolab, baby.
See,
yeah, bring it to the bio.
Emerald's got this. I don't see how Briggs can get in. I'm not seeing anyone from Briggs doing roof attacks, like using one of their galaxies and having a full squad just dropping on the roof. There's no one here to contest it inside the building.
Capture!
Small numbers.
And the base goes down, and they're already talking in procs about running to that Biolabs and start watching those jump pads because they're rolling out.
And Old Shore's also ticking down minute 30, so I mean this pressure right at the very end of the game is just relentless here by Emerald.
Yeah, technically they can still get the Biolab.
Well, they got that 70%, so you know that's something, and I guess they're going for. Oh, look at this! A Galaxy reinforcement drop on Old Shore. Well, there you go. Nice to see it. But then they just got counter-dropped by an Emerald drop.
I'm gonna be in the Biolab, see what happens.
I can't wait to see how this one pans out. They're just getting the crap kicked out of them while they stage their fight.
Well, Briggs Air Force turned up at Old Shore checkpoint. Well, there's even a harasser on the capture point.
This is Reef on
It's the
all
closest
calls,
it's been.
4 minutes remaining
30
in the
seconds.
match.
It is the closest
Right.
it's been.
Now,
Oh, but it's a
4 minutes.
swarm of Vanu moving in.
Excuse me, turret going.
Nah, the infantry's too much infantry just coming at the last moment, and the Air Force turning up as well.
We flip all the points.
In fact, the Air Force is probably doing more harm.
Alright. We're under 4 minutes now.
Okay, so key instances, the Biolab can still technically be captured if it was all points.
Yeah, I don't see it happening.
Yeah, so Ellie Forest Pass, theoretically, in the next 10 seconds, if it doesn't flip, is going to be out of contention. Towers are in contention, amp stations at contention, Snow Shear isn't going to be captured in time. The only base that can be captured at the moment is the Biolab and Old Shore. Those are the only two bases that really matter. And the Biolab is going to come out of contention in about 30 seconds.
Biolab is too late already, man. Well, technically.
Oh, we're just watching the last base that really matters. Biolab going? Nope. Okay, so oh, hello. Forest Pass is taking down 250. Nope, doesn't matter. It's too late. So, Old Shore, only base that matters. Now, the thing is, how quickly, not that it's an extremely important base, because the scores are going to be 72-22, unless Old Shore can be reflipped. It needs to be reflipped in the next 5 seconds. The Air Force has turned up with Liberators. Looks like Emerald's got an air. Just tapping everything.
Alright, Alvari is not happening anymore.
And Old Shore is beyond the point of capping now.
Alright, so this is the end of match score then.
Probably. Well, the point's flipping. We'll check if they actually flip the point and then see whether or not what the time left is. I don't think there's enough time though. 151, 151. No, it's going beyond the point. 2 minutes 3 and 146 on the timer. So there you go. We'll get the interviews in a second, guys. As soon as this match comes to its conclusion, final scores are going to be 72-22. And you got to say that the real death knell there was the loss of Waterson's triumph, or sorry, Matheson's triumph. Everything was kind of going pressured against Briggs. They did show some gusto. They did show the ability to capture Pale Canyon a few times. They showed the ability to capture Bridge Ward. And the ability to capture Fair Substation. For the most part, it was all Emerald pressure, pushing and pushing and pushing.
Definitely.
So they're doing what Emerald likes to do, and that's on a base that they've been trying to capture, but you haven't been able to take. You just pile everyone on it.
Well, everyone's kind of cordoned on to the fact that Old Shore is the base to fight at. We can see that it's 98 plus both teams, and there's Whale Wars and there's Galaxy droppings. The thing is, you don't have a timer telling you how long, because we don't have alerts. We don't have timer showing you how long.
Oh, their bosses will tell them. They just won't care.
Yeah, it's just get here, have fight. You know, it's 30. It's unfortunately 20 seconds too late. But when you're actually there and fighting, it's so difficult.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, they're actually stopping the cap on Old Shore anyway.
Oh yes.
I didn't think they would.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. End of match. Congratulations to Emerald playing SNC, winning this game with 72%. Briggs scored 22%.